Hey guys, and welcome to a tournament. It has certainly been a while since we've done one of these, and it is going to be a scrap. Today we're going to be casting the semi-finals and finals of the ODM hosted tournament. We are going to be co-casting alongside Alfredinho. I believe he is casting it over on Twitch. We're not going to be interacting with each other as much, but like, you know, he's doing it on Twitch, I'm on YouTube, so you should be covered wherever you like to watch these things. The first semi-final is a clash of the mighty clans. We have XMT's very own Von Karstein, been around longer than I have. He's been in the game a very long time, a super talented player. Let me get off this quickly so you guys can't see what their armies are going to be. And he's up against Sons of the Mountains, Dr. Jellyfish, a player who's improved just time and time again and has gotten to a pretty scary point for sure. And in the second semi-final, it's going to be Chosen One, the legend, the god, the Wood Elf mighty hero, taking on Mofet. So he's the last ODM member standing. Mofet also incredibly talented. Now, I'm trying my best to get... so let me pop this up quickly. I'm trying my best to get you guys like on my phone on chat, but the new YouTube app is literally a walking nightmare and I can't see chat. It is very frustrating and I don't know what to do about it, so I am trying to sort that out. There's got to be a button or something that I'm just not seeing. Surely you can see chat on YouTube like on your phone. It seems bonkers that you can't. Let's try opening it in the app and see if that helps anymore. I'm trying to do it online and it's like, hey, oh, there we go. Okay, they're just forcing us to use their app. So guys, yes. It is, I'm afraid, going to be my last Total War Warhammer like multiplayer live stream, and I am going to be stopping doing Total War like YouTube in general. For a few reasons. It's not that I dislike the game all of a sudden or anything along those lines, but I simply cannot do it. Like, I have only 2 days free in a week, so to put this much effort into creating YouTube videos, you know, every single week, every single weekend, I've had to sacrifice a lot over the last, like, I don't know, 3-4 years I've been doing this now. I think like 3.5 years, roughly. And I've come to the realization it's just simply not going to work out as a job. It's not going to be possible, and I'm going to end up hating it if I just... like hating it as like content creation, but also just Total War in general. If I'm forcing myself like every weekend to create videos that I don't have the same passion and hunger to create again. And partly, like, part of that is because I got a new job now, so my hours are like quite long, and I'm creating YouTube videos basically throughout the week, Monday to Friday. I don't then want to spend the only kind of like days I have for rest making more videos in a panic and having to like worry about YouTube, whilst also trying to do like a job. It's like a bit too much. So it was a tough decision. It's been coming for quite some time. I wanted to leave, I think, after the Warhammer World Championships like a long time ago, but kept going because of Warhammer 3, and the channel did boom, but alas, it did not reach like the heights that we were hoping it would reach, where I'd be able to carry on and perhaps do this as a job, because I've been running it like it's a full-time job now for at least like a year and a half or something, kind of like insane hours like putting into it. I have like thousands of videos now on the channel, I think over 1,000. So I put so much like time and effort into it, which is really hard, like heartbreaking having to give it up, but I just don't think it's a healthy option to like force myself to create stuff basically. Now the YouTube channel is going to survive. The YouTube channel is still going to be here, although I am definitely going to be taking at least a month's break, but I probably will not be covering Total War, at least for the foreseeable future. I'll probably try venturing out to 1 or 2 other videos, which is basically known as YouTube career suicide. Like, doing something that your like YouTube algorithm doesn't know you for tends to be a bit of a doom. But I'm still a creative dude. I'm still always going to be working on stuff, whether it's writing stuff, which I can do audiobooks for, or lore videos. I'm still not necessarily going to leave at the Warhammer universe. But it's gonna be very videos kind of far and few between, trying out different stuff and improving. Now I do have a project in the works, which is gonna be a lot of fun. I'm gonna try and get a short story that I've had published for like a while now, actually turned into like a graphic novel. So I'm probably gonna do that kind of stuff on YouTube as well, kind of promote it and explain what the project is, because I'm expecting to do like a GoFundMe on it maybe. I haven't really looked into it that much, I just had the idea for it. It's a real fun story. But that is indeed the plan. So yeah, so I apologize for everyone who that's going to upset, but I'm just a bit jaded, I'm afraid. I'm a tired old warrior now. Let's try and get chat up again. My phone is being real buggy. It doesn't want me to see you guys. Come on, work. How do you do this? Okay, let's try that again. open. I saw chat for a while, and then you all disappeared. There you go. Hello. What's up, Steve Wilson? Venge? Swiss Pikeman? ODM's Loopy? Chosen One, who will be seen in the next semi-final. Socrates? Major Moolah? Harabek? Hope you guys are all doing good today. It's going to be a scrap, man. It is going to be a scrap. So, up first, we do indeed have Dark Elves in play. Awesome to see them in action. I don't know how powerful they are at the moment. It does look like we have the mighty Malekith. And, yeah, Dark Elves taking on the Warriors of Chaos, who are just disgustingly popular right now. Easily kind of up there with the best factions in the game, I'd argue, alongside your kind of vampire counts. And there's a few actually knocking around which I think are quite powerful. Now, this tournament had a different format. You would kind of have 5 factions that you would put forward at the start of the battle, and those are your 5 factions for the duration of the tournament. And unfortunately, I don't think we have any Lizardmen coming up in these finals and semi-finals, unless they're allowed to switch it for the finals. There is a chance of Wood Elves, though, which I'm really hoping for. I believe that's Chosen One with them. But anyway, let's delve into this. So, Von Carstein of XMT. Coming in thick here with a load of cheap and cheerful marauders, ready to bring carnage and slaughter to the enemy. We have Mirror Guard in the central pocket. They are the Regiment of Renowned Chaos Warriors. We've got a couple of Spawn in the back. Oh no, there's one Spawn, which is the weird Spawn. And the Summoners of Rage, who have a really cool color scheme now. Look at these bad boys. They look way, way, way more impressive than before. They have this kind of ethereal bluish glow, which makes them look a bit sickly and alien-like. I love it. We do also have some Hell Striders down on the far side. We have, up in the skies, a Chaos Ferromantical, and we have a Be'lakor himself, just looking a bit Chad. He's got his old arms ready to start pumping the enemy in the face. In my opinion, Be'lakor is a bit too OP for multiplayer, but again, I haven't really... I made a big mistake. I haven't actually been able to play multiplayer since Immortal Empires came out, so I nearly wasn't able to cast this because I was on the the beta version. So maybe, you know, he's more balanced than I know at this point. Load of Horsemen as well for Von Carstein. Coming up against them is the mighty Jellyfish himself. I've faced him many a times in tournaments. There was a time where we would run into each other almost every tournament. It was crazy. Very talented lad. A couple of Scourge Runners up in the front. We got some Dread Spears as well as a Black Hawk Corsairs in the kind of secondary battle line. Bleak Swords making it in the center. Got Dark Riders in the back with some Cold War Knights. We do have the rather luxurious Witch Elves and Sisters of Slaughter. And then we have the K-Knight Assassin. And more importantly, we have someone who's not Marathi. So this is a good day for me. We have Malekith. Now, I'm not sure if, like, Malice is banned or anything. I'm surprised we're not seeing Malice. I certainly think myself he is incredibly powerful for sure, but again, maybe these players know something that I don't know. They have got rather far in today's tournament. Also, there's a little bit of lag, but it is kind of stabilizing here, which is good to see. We are going to be streaming alongside Alfredino, so there is 4 people in the lobby, which will increase a bit of lag, but I'm happy to share the burden here. Yes. What do you mean your final tournament? I'll do like a rundown like halfway through the tournament or something. I guess there's like new players joining, that kind of stuff, but I'll focus on the casting for now. So it looks like, oh no, I thought there was an effect going down there. I think it's just the weird Spawn's shields being popped a little bit. And the Warriors of Chaos are on arrival, and there's not much you can do about that. Now, the Squadron of Chat's doing some really nice poke and stroke here. They're poking down the Marauder Horsemen, which I think is a really good target priority. Likewise, the Summoners of Rage are taking a bit of the flak there, and they're definitely going to be a problem. They will easily overwhelm the Cold War Knights as well as the Dark Riders. Likewise, can surround Malekith and drag low characters like that. Lovely little Frostbite comes down on the Mirror Guard, who took some significant damage there from Malekith. That was actually quite impressive. But the Marauders are beating their axes against their shields, biting their shield rims, ready for carnage and death. The Dark Elves, though, do countercharge in here rather boldly here. As we get a nice slow motion shot, Marauders lifting those axes up and back down again in horrible arcs of death. I should have the blood pack activated. Yes, there is blood, I believe. Yes, they are getting covered in smoke. Catch up, I love to see it. Big effects going down in the middle here, though. We have a Web of Shadows, and it's going to ensnare Be'lakor as well as an Assassin's Trophy. Looks like it was a bit of a bait, though, by Von Carstein. Get in there, make your opponent use up all his spells, and then get the hell out. He, likewise, is going to be basically invulnerable coming in with the Shadow Shroud. We're going to put a Shades go down. This was a really lovely little kind of like a bait and switch moment here. It looks like a lot of the Dark Riders are going to get ensnared in that, as our Bleak Swords. Dr. Jellyfish's front line is starting to crumple, but on this left-hand side, things are going okay. He's got a lot of range firepower going in, and the thin line of Dark Elves is holding. We can see areas where Marauders are starting to break as well. You get a rather nasty Soul Sealer go down. Now, I believe Soul Sealer has been nerfed, however, so it is no longer as good at healing. Looks like Marauders are jumped on top of the Dread Spears. Got 1 or 2 inactive units in the back here. The Cold War Knights being kind of left in reserve. Like to see them move up and try to rotate around the enemy. But it does seem like the Dark Elves are holding the line relatively effectively after what was a dangerous and violent attack from the Warriors of Chaos. They've not got much left. The Marauders get broken and slaughtered where they stood. 33 kills on Malekith is pretty impressive. Now, it doesn't really matter how oppressive Be'lakor is. He can't take on the world. All the Horsemen are going to be falling back. They're doing some 316 no-scopes into the glorious Dread Spears here, but they won't mind that whatsoever. They were destined for it. And though it was a rocky start, like the Chaos closed the distance quickly without taking too many casualties, it's gone really backwards for them since that moment. The front line held just long enough for these Corsairs to do some really nice long-range damage. In the back, we still have the Chariots as well, doing some nice little poke here. And the Chaos Pharaoh Manticore is being surrounded and dragged down by the Dark Riders. It's a bad day for them. Cold Knights are moving up on the left-hand side. They are starting to float around, perhaps go for a bit of a surround on the Marauders on this flank. There's a bit of resurgence here as the troops rally to the battle cries of Be'lakor, who is lifting that sword. Arcs of death coated in blood of the Elves. He's having a good day. We do get a nasty Pit of Shades go down as well. It looks like they're not going down without a fight here, Von Carstein. Witch Elves are being ensnared there. There are some weird spawn in, but they won't really mind the friendly fire. They are kind of seeking death, if anything. That's a lot of infantry getting torn apart there by the Pit of Shades. Be'lakor up to 91 kills. Very nice work there. Lovely Gaze of Malice goes down on the Marauders. That's going to start forcing them off. The back line is secure, though. There is one Pharaoh Manticore kind of up to no good, starting trouble in the back line neighborhood. But the fact all these crossbowmen are still online is really scary stuff here. And eventually they will be able to whittle down Be'lakor, who does some jukes. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a crossbow bolt, apparently. And he is going to be trying to get back here for a bit of vengeance. Jumps on the Squadron Chariots, which isn't a bad idea. He can destroy models with mighty swings. But it looks like Von Carstein has run out of steam. His army crumpled really quickly. Like, he managed to fight back a little bit towards the end. But, what's this coming down? Oh, it's just Melkov's Misfired Miasma. I thought it was Sanko. Crazy. I guess it's like new animations and stuff, but though Von Carstein was able to recover a little bit and put a bit more of a fight up in the latter stages of the battle, the early stages and the mid-game slaughtered him. Be'lakor is incredibly expensive, so you have to get good value for him, and though he is a world beater and a powerhouse, up to 104 kills probably still isn't enough. He needs to be doing more than this. We do get the ability coming in, I believe, from the Summoners of Rage. Only 45 kills on them. Not the best targets today, I suppose. The Cold War Knights never really got in the action, and Malekith was surrounded by just waves of infantry and crossbow bolts. Be'lakor is going to continue to fight, though. Von Carstein ain't out of this yet. He hasn't heard no bell, apparently, though I don't think he'll do him much good. Shadow Shroud does go down, and it's going to prolong the fight a little bit, but with the Cold War Knights being popped in, stand your ground, going to make them incredibly tanky. You can see Be'lakor is attempting to retreat, but there's going to be some chariots catching him in the front, pinning his booty in place, and now the crossbowmen will be able to finish him off, and you can see his HP is dripping off him, as is his morale. He has the Madness of Cain on him, and that madness is going to force him into an early grave, as it has so many men and demons before him. Bye-bye, Be'lakor, and that is going to be 1-0 to the mighty Dr. Jellyfish. I just realized I haven't done a tournament stream in so long, I forgot to put up a scoreboard, so I will chuck one up now. But let's quickly look over the damage value. 1.9k for Be'lakor with 107 kills is pretty juicy. Elsewhere, did anything else do that good, though? I don't think so. The army just got stomped. It really did get run over in that mid-game, and I've heard Dark Elves are quite powerful now. 1.4k on Malekith is good. 700, of course, on the Cainite Assassin is pretty naughty. I like the kills on the Sister Slaughter, not the best value there. I think it was, honestly, these armored, or the Blackheart Corsairs, sorry, with the Hambos, really did a number, like 1,200 value, 750 value is pretty impressive for units of their cost. I think they were the real difference here and kind of the world beaters of this situation. So well played to these lads, and that looks like we are going to be switching it up. So let's quickly add a scoreboard for you all, if I can find it. I wonder what the last score I did was. Let's have a little look. So, there we go, got the overlay back. Last game was apparently Logic versus World Beater. This looks like a DVD internal tournament. It was 1-0. Oh my god, that's exciting. But anyway, let's change that over. So, on this side, we will put Dr. Jelly. We might be able to fit his whole name in here. There we go. Let's add a space. Is there already a space there? No. There we go. Dr. Jellyfish on one side, representing Sons of the Mountain. He is going to be one up here. It's pretty nice stuff. Let's quickly change this score before we forget. Get that down to 0. Alas, it is not Logic playing today, but instead the mighty Von Carstein. Von Carstein's honestly been around forever. We'll be able to fit it in, I reckon. Do a little bit of... Whoop. There we go. His name looks a little bit small, but it fits. It fits. And there we go. Lovely stuff. So now you guys actually have a scoreboard. We're professional once more. Let's quickly check the Discord as well. Make sure we have no questions. It was a little laggy. Hopefully. I mean, it was like laggy in parts, but it was never like consistently laggy, which is at least good news. But again, there is obviously 4 of us in the lobby. Quack, what's up, Park Map? What's up, Blackthorn? Was afraid of missing the stream? Don't worry, we've only just started. Ducky will not quack gently into that good night. We're still going. It's going to be a good stream, don't worry about it. What's up, guys? Awesome to see you here. Quack, lots of ducks. Lots of ducks indeed. After this tournament, Ducky is done for good. So yeah, basically... I am transcending into Lord Croak. They banned Lord Croak for this tournament. It is heresy. I understand in a Dom tournament, but ban him in land battles. Come on, let Lord Croak have his fun. Let him be a little bit powerful for once. You can still dodge Lord Croak. I am incredibly biased as a Lizardman name, but I think Lord Croak should be allowed. They've also banned Vampire Counts and Tomb King's passive healing, which is interesting, actually. And a lot of people still brought them, so they're obviously very powerful even without the healing. So I'm very sure they're going to be incredibly powerful with the healing. But as I said, I was on the beta, basically. I hadn't been able to play this since launch, so I'm not really sure where the meta currently lands. But it seems like a lot of people are bringing Vampire Counts, Warriors of Chaos, and Dark Elves. And it looks like we're having a bit of a switch up. So Von Carstein, just defeated by the Dark Elves, is indeed himself bringing them to the action up against Dr. Jellyfish's Vampire Counts. He's on the high ground right now. Can he hold it? Yes, guys, I am going to be ending doing Total War on YouTube. It has been a glorious run. For those of you guys who missed my announcement at the start, it's been a real good time. Like, I've learned so much. Beforehand, I didn't even know like what a recording software was, or like how to use a microphone or anything, so it's been crazy. But I have been doing it for like 3.5 years now, and I came to realization it just wasn't going to happen as far as a job is concerned. And I'd basically been running it like a full-time job, doing a ridiculous amount of hours. I have like over 1,000 videos, I think, like all dedicated to Total War. So I ended up just getting a bit tired of like making the content. To a point, and now that I've got a full-time job doing very long hours, the only days I could make YouTube videos is Saturday and Sunday, and I would have to do it all Saturday and all Sunday. Like, I'd have to play games all Saturday and get replays all Saturday, then cast them and make thumbnails all Sunday. So I basically had no day off a week, which isn't a very healthy way of like living. And it would have meant I would have grown to like hate basically playing Total War, casting Total War, and doing anything towards that. And I don't want to do that. I will still be in the community. You will still see me playing Total War. And the YouTube channel is actually going to stay up. So I was in two minds about that, but the YouTube channel was always going to stay up. But I am going to continue to pick content out on YouTube after probably like a month or so break, but it's going to be very different content probably. It's not going to be Total War based, and it's not going to be like, you know, 7 videos and 2 live streams a week. It's going to be a video every like month or so. Probably more focus in, I don't know, I'm tempted to do a few things. I'm going to probably experiment and try a few different types of video. I'm definitely going to be doing a project where I'm trying to get a short story that I have already published. I'm trying to get that turned into a graphic novel, so I will probably announce that on YouTube and do some crowdfunding for it and all that kind of stuff. Hopefully get some artwork done for it. Should be a lot of fun, and keep you guys like updated on that. I am probably going to do an Alt-Shift-X style lore videos for Warhammer as well. He does a lot of videos for Game of Thrones and stuff, which is really awesome. So I might give some of those a go and just experiment, try little bits, but there'll be more, I suppose, like hobby stuff rather than trying to make it into a job, really. Big quack for the future. Thank you so much. I know, guys, it's all good. Like, I really enjoy my new job. It is a lot of work, and it's like quite tough, and I'm learning so much stuff like on the fly because obviously I got the job because I had a YouTube channel. I am doing video editing and streaming now for like a video game publisher. But I've never had to do as much editing like in my life as I've had to do for this job. So I've been learning stuff, but I've learned so much in a month. It's crazy. And I'm really enjoying it. The people there are lovely. So I'm in a happy place. Like, I'm very happy to be working there. But I do still need, a couple of days off a week, basically. But yes. Yeah, exactly. Like, YouTube doesn't really, like... I never got close to being able to do YouTube full-time. So, like, I do make a little bit of money off YouTube, but not much. You have to be, like, a real big... There's this big, like, illusion, I think, where people think... YouTubers, like Total War YouTubers, are on like insane amounts of money. I think someone the other day told me Tisty was on like 70k a year or something, which is impossible. It is not physically possible, I'm afraid, to make that much money off Total War. But off YouTube in general, it's quite hard. Most of your money actually comes from sponsorships and YouTube geo deals and that kind of stuff. But anyway, enough about that. Let's delve into this battle. You guys see that tree? Oh my god. It is danking out over there. What on earth is that? It doesn't even exist unless you go down this low. I hope you guys can see that. It's not just me, like, tripping balls. Okay, there's floating trees. Oh no, Von Karstein, what are you doing? You got XMT in your name. You can't be bringing a dirty box build. What is this? No. Okay, well, at least we're seeing Dark Elf kind of love, I suppose, and seeing them in the meta is quite fun, although it is going to be Marathi double Manticore. So this is like a Warhammer 2 meta. Double Pharaoh Manticore, Marathi up in the skies, and then it's a box. It's just a Black Guard of Nagarond box, Elabroni in the back, Sisters of Singing Doom, and a couple of skirmish cav to make sure you are attacking at all times, which is a smart play indeed. It's up against Vampire Counts, so it looks like two very meta stuff here. Honestly, this is a straight out of Compton kind of Warhammer 2 situation. We have double Vargeist or triple Vargeist up in the skies. Quad Vargeist, my god. Quad Vargeist up in the skies. We have the Chillgeist as well. This is pretty damn cool. I like to see these guys in action. They kind of remind me of Ring Wraiths. And what else do we have to the party? So we have zombies in kind of the slow march style. The reason you do this narrow formation is so you have less units battling at any one point. It means your damage output is significantly reduced, but likewise, the amount of enemies attacking you is significantly reduced, meaning zombies can hold the line for longer, which is just what you want as the vampire counts. A couple of skilly boys in the back, looks like some skeleton warriors and a graveguard. We have a necromancer, a white king, and then up in the skies, a blood dragon vampire lord. Coming in with quite a few nasty stuff. So we have Raised Dead, we have Invocation of Nehek, we have the Heart Piercer, the Hell Discord, all the old school stuff. You guys already know what's up. And I'm excited to see how this does go, though. It's going to come down a lot to the play of the flying units. Now, something that's really good for Von Karstein in this situation is normally his Manticores and Marathi would be forced to fight the air game here. Like, they wouldn't have a choice. So they're against 4 Vargeist plus the Lords who can do all these debuffs. They would certainly lose. But now if they want, they can just land amongst the Halberds, which I think is a massive boon. Something that I really wanted to see in Warhammer 3, and it got implemented. So hats off to CA for that. Build-wise seems good for VC. Yeah, it looks good. It seems good. What's up, Reginald? How's it going, champ? Yes, but thank you guys so much for the kind messages. Honestly, it's been a real cool experience. Like, there's been ups and downs, obviously, but there's definitely been more ups. Definitely been more ups. So it's going to be a slow start here, as you'd expect. Dark Riders bouncing forward, looking to fend off the Vargeist a little bit and just kind of say what's up to them. Vargeist have basically no armor as well, so they're very susceptible in general to bow damage. Of course, the Dark Riders have crossbows, so they'd be able to pierce through even if they had thick metal plates. A couple of shots go up against the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord. They unfortunately do trail a bit short here, though they catch him. Nope, they completely miss on their second volley. You call yourself Elves, and you can't hit a gigantic, slow-moving dragon. Absolutely disgraceful. Speaking of dragons, I don't want to do spoilers, so it only just came out, but I actually really enjoyed House of the Dragon. Like, the first episode was awesome, so I'm really looking forward to getting into that. And, I don't know, maybe I'll make some videos on that at some point, although that might be a bit too soon. Anyway, Dark Elves army pushing forward here. Sisters of Singing Doom, Dread Spears, the Blackguard as well, all slowly bunching up. Looks like the Vampire Counts are going to be rotating their forces slightly and making sure they take them on end face value here. The White King is going to be really nice, and a big breath attacks coming in. Is it going to be dodged? It looks like the order was given to be dodged. Von Carstein, snappy, quick with the micro. I love to see it. Maybe helped a little bit here by the lag, of course, but regardless, nice spot there. I would have liked to have seen from Dr. Jellyfish, realistically, the zombies to have pinned in the Blackguard before delivering those breath attacks. So I do understand the want to, hey, I've got 3 of them, I want to ensure I can use them over the course of an entire battle. Zombies do, I say clatter into the enemy. They slowly and slumberously kind of go in for a hug. Blackguard aren't about that. They are the edgiest of emo elves, and they want none of that love. So they're going to be cutting up the zombies. It's going to take them a while, though, unfortunately, due to this formation change. That it seems like Jellyfish has kind of let it slip a bit. The zombies have piled in on top and are trying to kind of saturate amongst their enemies, which isn't what they want to be doing here. Up in the skies, it is a hot and fiery affair that it looks like now Von Carsten has decided, you know what, I need to get the hell out of here. And he is indeed going to be landing, trying to jump one unit of Varguys who do escape back up into the skies. Now, one unit of Dr. Jellyfish troops is dead, unfortunately, in the back here. There's a Manticore amongst them. The Dark Riders are about to get sandwiched. Beautiful play by the Jellyfish man himself, coming in with the rear attack of the Chill Guys, and Von Carstein misses it. He had such good micro early on, but he managed to miss this one, getting slowed down. These Dark Riders are simply dead. There is no two ways about it. There is a Manticore on arrival. We still have a bit of a scrap going on in the middle here. The Blackguard are holding it relatively firm, but they will be dragged down by a mixture of just chaff, breath attacks, spells. It is looking really bad in my eyes for the Dark Elves right now. The Vampire Counts have them exactly where they want them. They're isolating the right targets. Morathi getting pimp slapped there by the Dragon Lord. Absolutely wrecked. I hate Morathi just because of how often she was picked, so I love to see it. And it looks like the Varguys could chase her off as well if they stopped rampaging from Memento, but Morathi's dead, and that's game over. There's no way losing your lord that early is going to bode well for the Dark Elves. They're getting surrounded and isolated. Their box broke really early, and they were kind of spread out a little too much, and that allowed the Varguys mobility. The Chill Guys trap on the Dark Riders was beautiful play by Dr. Jellyfish, is going to secure him a spot in the finals. Big breath attack to help finish it off on top of the Blackguard. Army losses is settling in already. The timer only 3.5 minutes in. That is land battles for you, though. They can come thick and fast. Very well played to Jellyfish. That was insane. That was insane. Why do Vampire Count games always have lag? It's because there's 4 of us, like, in the lobby, realistically, I think. Connected from different parts of the world, it's just going to be a little bit laggy. It seems to be like lagging and then stopping being laggy, which is decent. I've been in lobbies with all these guys before and not had lag, but I've also been in with them before and had lag. It's one of those things, unfortunately, with Total War a little bit. I think we need to get like some... Is it like private servers or something which tends to sort this stuff out? I'm not very like big on the technical side of a lot of the gaming industry type stuff. I'm more of the entertainment side I know a bit more about. My god, Blood Dragon Vampire Lord, 3,144 gold value is absurd. That is gnarly. Like, the rest of his army didn't have to do anything. The Varguys didn't even do that great. Nothing did that great. It was literally the Lord. What a Chad. What an absolute monster. Well played to Jellyfish. That was really well played. And massive shout out to Von Carstein. Has been an absolute lad for a long, long time. Played many games on the channel. Has actually represented DBD in the past as a mercenary for a couple of tournaments. Is obviously a long-term standing member of the community. I'm glad to see he's still scrapping out here. Yeah, that Vampire Lord was disgusting, Blackthorn. Like, real disgusting. But also, I guess Undead have so many units, they probably slow down people's PCs, and I don't know, maybe that stresses out the internet a little bit as well. If you still do content is good. It's been more of a hobby thing. Yeah, I think it was you, Storm, we spoke about acting. Or I've been so busy, I'm not gonna lie. I've basically done nothing to do with Total War in the last, like, month. So I've not really been in the Discord. Luckily, stopping doing the content will actually mean I'm probably a lot more active in actually being able to play the game. I've literally not been able to play for, like... I don't know when I last like actually played the game. A long time anyway, so hopefully I'll be a bit more active. But yeah, I believe Storm, you're talking about acting, like trying to push acting like straight out of uni. I did the exact same thing. I finally got on to an acting agency and COVID hit, and they closed down the agency. So it is a grind, and it stops you kind of like enjoying it as much as you did before, which is for sure. And I still enjoy making the Total War content to a point, but nowhere near as much as I did. It became certainly a lot more like a chore, unfortunately, towards the end a little bit. More than like a joyous thing. So I cut down the streams to try and counteract that, but alas, it was not enough. It was not enough. I've also kind of, I don't know, I'm not that big on I played a lot of tournaments when I first got into the game. I love the competitive scene. I'm less of a fan now. Even though I know my like channels like based on tournaments, I like casting tournament games still. I do not enjoy playing in tournaments as much. There's a lot more kind of like nasty metas and stuff, and I think it brings out the worst in a lot of people nowadays. Like, I think it was honestly the Warhammer World Championships, which I don't want to blame because it was such a good event and so good as well for the community as far as like popularity, but it made a few people like turn nasty and stuff, so it did put me off a little bit from hosting events and that kind of stuff. See, Big Dragon Lords are meta. I actually love the fact that Big Dragon Lords are meta. It's about time. Like, I'm really happy. I wanted, I actually just really want to play the game and play some like Wood Elf, like rush builds with like a Dragon Lord and that kind of stuff. Be a lot of fun. Blood Dragons on a dragon were always decent. No, that's for sure. That is for sure. They've always been solid. They've always been solid, but they have been improved. I think general stat buffs, maybe it was like HP buff, but their mass increase is what's really kind of brought them back. By the way, it looks like it is Mofet versus the Chosen One. Chosen One has been one of my favorite players for a long time due to his very good Wood Elf play. Like, I really like a player who plays Wood Elves very well, and I think he also plays Skaven, which is a faction I like grew over time to love. I mainly like them for funny builds, to be honest, though. I like the full Eshin builds and stuff, and I really enjoy like Ikit Claw and so on, but I know they kind of fell out of being competitive a while ago, but maybe they're back. Maybe they're back. I do hope soon. Like, the one thing I will say, I like have enjoyed most of Warhammer 3's like multiplayer. I did enjoy land battles for quite some time when there wasn't that many factions in the game. The Return of Immortal Empires has really reignited my like love of land battles, because before it was just box build after box build and I kind of hated it. But one thing that apart from that, I've like tend to have really enjoyed like Warhammer 3 and what Creative Assembly have done. The one thing I really want to change though, by God, is the quick battle system, to have the option to turn off and on if you want to search for land battles, domination, or both. Like, I know they can only have, because like the systems in the game since like the original Total War games, they only have one like queue system, but surely it's going to be a way to like turn on and off like a filter or something to like only find games with this, because you can do that in like the custom lobby bit. You're like, oh, I want to find these type of game modes or whatever. So I don't know, that's the one thing I really hope gets like put in soon, is what I want to see. Full Vanguard Skaven coops are like awesome. Full Vanguard Skaven. I like Stormvermin builds like Quick Head Taker. That can be a lot of fun as well. And I've seen it like do okay. Doom Wheels. More people need to bring Doom Wheels against Lizardmen. Just put it out there. I cast a game recently, and it's like the traditional like 20 stack of Lizardmen. A lot of the meta seems to have flown over from Warhammer 2 into Warhammer 3 relatively like comfortably, and it's like found its home. So a lot of Lizardmen players keep going 20 stacks. I'm like, guys, just bring Doom Wheels. You'll literally kill their entire army without a problem. It's great. I keep seeing Skaven players bring like a mass artillery, and I'm like, no, what are you doing? It's painful. It's painful. Yeah, I don't, like, I understand that they wanted to put both in. I like the fact you can play both on ranked, which is really cool. Particularly early on, I was like all on the Dom hype train, because I enjoyed that mode so much when I first started playing it. It's so like refreshing and nice. I love the fact we now have variety of like different game modes to play. And I know some people have like their favorites. Like a lot of people are like, oh, I only want to play land battles. I hate domination. And other people's like, I don't want to play domination. I hate land battles, and so on and so forth. I just want more game modes. Like, give me land battles, give me domination, give me the duck mode, give me this other mode. Like, I want as many different varieties of play as possible. I think it's only good for the game. But definitely, like, forcing players to queue up for both seems like a bad idea. It just seems bizarre. I think it's just a technical issue that hopefully they're going to be working on to fix. Because it's not annoying if I want to play a LAN battle, but I want to just hop into a quick game, you know, rather than like organizing Discord. Just want to play some music and like hop on and just kind of mong out and play like a load of LAN battles. And then I'm like in a domination game, like, well, I don't want to leave because my opponent, it might have been waiting ages to play this game. And then you finally get in a game and they're like, no, I want to play Dom, so then they leave. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. I think they will introduce that queue system just because if you pass it with the cursor, it seems like they're toggable. That's great. I'm sure they're working on it. Like, CA get a lot of flack. To be like way too much flack in my opinion as well. I'm not just saying that because I was like a partner of CA. They get like an insane amount of flack. As far as games companies go, like I've seen a lot of games companies. I guess people don't get to see it like as much if they're like dedicated. Oh, crash and defeat. That's a bad time. It's like someone crashed. Was it me? It was me. No. Why did I crash? Hopefully they all crash so you can still see the game. I'll send Alfredino a message quick. Give me a sec. Let me... Did everyone crash or just me? If we have to wait, if they're playing, that's fine. We can just hop on a quick battle. But yeah, the one thing I will say for CA, like in their defense, I suppose, at least from my point of view, is that they have actually taken on a significant amount of feedback from, like, I know, like, myself, other members as well, like, other multiplayer people, as, oh my god, look at those funds, as well as the community, and they've, like, changed domination a lot, like, over the time. They've changed it a lot. Yeah, free-for-all quick battles would be dope. I think you could honestly do... What's up, Gang Paradise? How's it going, man? Hope you're all good in the hood. Yeah, free-for-alls are awesome, man. Free-for-alls are a lot of fun. So true, we need like 10 more game modes and 100 more maps. 100%, like, Pug. I agree with you fully. Like, the more gameplays, or like different game modes, sorry, the more factions, the more maps. Like, it's only a positive in my eyes. Of course, balancing all this would be a nightmare, and I understand that Total War is like a single-player game rather than just like a multiplayer game. But like, I only see it as a positive. I don't know, I don't get all the hate for it, but it is what it is. Everyone crashed. Yay! I know that shouldn't be a good thing, but it's really good for us, because we get to still see the game. Did that pace automatically for me? I got the power. The power. Okay, we're back. Gang Paradise says, buddy, one question. If I'm not mistaken, Bellacourt is available in multiplayer ranked games, right? I believe he is. You do have to... Oh, I'm actually in the game. Ah. Let me try that again. Spectator mode. You have to actually unlock him in campaign, though, to get him in multiplayer, which is really funny. So I don't have him in campaign. Which is a bit of a nightmare. I do have Boris, though. But do I think he's a good Legendary Lord? Yes, I think he's very, very powerful. I think he is very good. Okay, are we joining a different lobby? Where is it? ODM Tourney. Currently has no people in. I'm guessing that's the wrong one. What was if I join with a code? It's going to try and put me, like, in the game. What are they doing? I don't know. Let's hop in spectator mode and find out if this works. Okay, there is no game anymore. Maybe one of them's having to reboot their PC. Who knows? We'll get it sorted. We will get it sorted. But yeah, I think Bellacourt is very powerful. I think a little bit too powerful, personally, but a lot of people, like, more people disagree with me than agree with me, I think, on that. So, you know, I can only, like, tell you from, like, my experiences that he seems a little bit busted. We did see him get picked as well in this tournament, although that's not to suggest he's necessarily OP. Let's see if we can find this lobby. The mysterious lobby that never was... A Skaven build with a bunch of newly buffed up rat ogres? Madness! I want to just see, like, the craziest Skaven builds of all time. Yeah, that's what I mean, Jockass. Like, they definitely have their problems, like every company does, but it's not like they're EA doing microtransactions every 5 seconds. But I feel like they get as much hate as someone like EA. I guess maybe because we're more, like, involved. Let's try and join. Because we're, like, more involved with it, maybe it's, like, a smaller community. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Let's get in. Please work, fingers crossed. Hey, we're in. And so the boys. Mofet on Bretonia and Chosen on Skaven. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, I'm so down for this. What's up, Zypher? How's it going? You don't think Bellacor's OP in my player? Fair enough. I don't know. Being able to make himself like immortal is kind of like rough, I find. I think his abilities just last too long. That's literally it. He's very expensive, so I think, you know, in some way you can say it's justified that he's just like crazy one-man army, because he's worth so much money. But I think cost-wise compared to some like other lords, his duration on some of his abilities are like insane for what they do. That I think they either need to be taken down or like money put up a little bit. I am Chosen One. You have made me a very, very happy duck right now. This is a hell of a cool build. Look at this. We have the Blightscab Plague Pack, I believe they're called. I haven't seen them in so long. That's how awesome they are. We have Ishka's Triads. Oh, fuck yeah. This is awesome. I love this build. The Prince Sigvald build on the other side is giving me some pretty bad PTSD flashbacks right now to trying to kill Sigvald. He's very tough. He's not OP because the rest of the roster's really bad. He's just like carrying the squad. Bellicol abilities do not last too long. Other buffs just do not last long enough. You know what? Actually, I take that back. The one thing I really want added to the game, more than anything, is give Krotgar his damn spear. Give him a magical spear of awesomeness. That's what I want in life. Anyway, let's have a look at Chosen One's build, and it looks like the lag has sated. Okay, that's good news. So we do have the Blightscab Plague Pack here. Plague, Monk, Sensebear, Regiments of Renown. Awesome little badasses who are quite nasty. They do magical attacks, which can be very good up against some of the more demonic factions in the game, and they can contaminate their enemies. They have immune to psychology in an air effect. Very awesome stuff indeed. We have Triads, we have Clan Rat Spears, we have a little cheeky firing platoon as well, double Warp Lightning cannons, one of which is the Itix Zap Zap Warp Lightning. We have a couple of Poison Wind Globadids. Oh, what the hell is this? This is so cool. We have double Chieftain on their Bone Breakers. Now, this is what I'm here for. This is why I love Total War. Look at these badasses. They do also supply Guardian, which is pretty nice. And we have a Gracier of Plague. I'm assuming just coming in with a load of nasty summons. Looks like we do indeed have Vermintide and the dreaded 13th spell. Really awesome build, man. Skaven Slave Slingers as well, just for a little bit more pepper damage. I like it quite a bit. Now opposing them, the mighty forces of the Warriors of Chaos, once again often picked in tournaments these days, it seems. A couple of Marauder Horsemen, looks like 3 units. We also have a load of Hellstriders in the back. Nice to see them being mixed in. They then got a load of Spawn. This is so funny, like, I feel like Spawn weren't popular in Warhammer 2 that much at all. And since we found out, like, the power of Spawn with the Demon factions, it's just Marauder and Spawn spam in, like, every build. I love it, though. It's kind of cool to see. So that is the main battle line. We do have some Chaos Chariots in the back. We have Prince Sigvald the Magnificent, of course, and a Chaos Ferromanticore. Pretty cool stuff. Where's their Spellcaster? Did I go over the Spellcaster and just miss him? There he is. Chaos Sorcerer of Fire, Burning Head Fireball. Very traditional stuff. And we also have some Chaos Chariots. But like as I said before, I feel like the Warhammer 2 meta has kind of slotted over into Warhammer 3. So you're going to see a lot of familiar strategies and places and that kind of stuff. My only hope in this game is for the Blightscab pack to do well. Them or the Chieftains, and I'll be happy. Yeah, they look so sick. The double Chieftain is so badass. Like, as a neutral, I cannot pick favorites, but if the Chieftain and Blightscab pack do well, I won't be sad here. Mofet's got a cool build, though. Like, Prince Sigvald as well, coming in. Shining his glorious bootay off to the world. Don't know if we can get give you guys a little glimpse under the cloak every now and again. That's like a big, oh my god, that Manticore got thwapped on the side there. He did not enjoy that whatsoever. He is now a little bit more aware, though. It looks like that's kind of given a wake-up call to Mofet, who's going to be bounding back and forth. I love the effect of the Zap Zap cannon to slow down cooldowns of abilities. Is really quite badass. Now, we do have Hellstriders hidden behind the enemy. This is a really nice play as well. They've kind of whipped around there, and they can strike at their opponents when they least expect it. Chaos Chariots take some big damage. Chieftains beating their chest and going forward to challenge the spawn before realizing the rest of their army was not with them, and they decide to fall back, and it looks like the spawn attempting to fall away as well, because Poison Globadiers unleash a deadly volley of poisonous gas, making the spawn choke on their own rotting flesh there. And it looks like all of the spawn are indeed going to move back here. Chaos Sorcerer has been hit by the Zap Zap, increasing those cooldowns. Very smart play once again. Not that much guard in the back, though, and I'm a little worried that this position's going to get completely overrun. Look at the swathes of cavalry. Rohan has answered the call. They're easily going to run over a couple of Skaven slaves. Ishka Triads going to have their work cut out, but will it be enough? Because the front line is being decimated. As long as these Globadiers can continue firing, the Skaven forces will have hope now. Blight Scout Plague Pack have been jumped here, unfortunately. You can see the Chaos Spawn desperately trying to push their way through the enemy on top of the Poison Globadiers. Use that mass, but the Chieftains come crashing in like a wrecking ball to face off against the enemy and pin them in place. We do get a burning head down on the Blight Scab. No! My beautiful little ratties! No! Oh, that is a sad day for sure. In the back, you can see the Triads doing a good job as well, fending off the Hellstriders with desperate stabs from their blades. Also get a dreaded 13th spell coming, doing redonkulous damage there. The Marauders took so much punishment, and those halberds can be great up against the spawn. Looks like Mofet knows this. He's going to be trying to relocate his forces slightly. A very close game. Backline is completely overwhelmed now, though. The cavalry pressure was so much. Mofet needs to get these horsemen moving again, though, and driving in to the opponent's back line. Looks like Poison Globadiers are unleashing hell on the Marauders, but unfortunately for them, a load of spawn are going to bucket kind of punch through the front line. I don't know what bucket punching is, but this is what it means, apparently. Jump on top of these Globadiers and force them back. Warp Lightning Cannons have unfortunately fallen silent. Looks like the Chieftains are still alive and kicking, trying to gang up a little bit on the Prince himself, the one who was promised. Hail's Manticore has decided to shatter off the battlefield. The Globadiers are continuously pouring on damage to the Marauders, weakening them. Their knees are weak, their arms are sweaty. They have Wolfric's vomit on their... Wolfric's spaghetti on their vomit already. That's the lyric, and anyone who tells me wrong is a complete liar. I don't believe them. Chieftain doing a decent job here, though, going after the Prince. They're trying to make a bit of a stand here in the middle, but the Skaven forces are just routed. Then again, we take an overarching view of the battle. Like, the Warriors of Chaos are a little bit beat up here. We still have the Hellstriders. The cavalry's a big problem. Like, the fact this skirmish cav has so much ammunition in the late game is going to be very problematic. And there's decent clumps of troops. And if we're being real about it, Sigvald can kill 90% of this army single-handedly. Looks like we do get a big burning head go down the line. Ishka's Triads are mighty indeed, but they're not going to be able to fight fire in hand-to-hand combat. There's like a load of friendly fire about to come in. That Sorcerer hated his troops. My god, he burned himself. Been a little bit kinky, but also burning his friends here. Not a lovely lamb whatsoever. Poison Globadiers are able to force off yet another unit of Marauders, but are themselves about to be jumped, which is sad to see. Prince Civil's kind of getting his ass handed to him right now. Double Chieftain going about their butcher's work, and maybe we spoke too soon. If Sigvald gets assassinated here, they're in big trouble. Chosen One, is he the Chosen One to do a comeback here? I mean, there's so much cavalry left. Surely it's not possible. Chaos Sorcerer Lord is still alive as well. Looks like we have a summon of clan rats dragging down the enemy, and the Prince might have to run away here from a fight. The fact the Poison Globadiers are alive is quite worrisome for the Warriors of Chaos, and it looks like the Horsemen are being fended off on all fronts. Slingers are dragging them down, Globadiers are pulling them from their horses, making them poisoned. The Warriors of Chaos player spread out massively in an attempt to chase down all these rat units, which is something I normally recommend, but it has allowed the Skaven to kind of find a sense of character again and kind of force all their kind of elite troops together, get their lords together, and snipe out the enemy general, which isn't something you say often about Prince Sigvald the Magnificent, but he is indeed going to be going going down here. Now, Chariots are attempting to overwhelm the Poison Globadiers. A masterful play, though, by the Skaven player. Falls back behind the Grazer, who has the mass to pin in the Chariots, but they are able to wiggle through. Good pressure coming in by Mofet there. We get a big, fat, juicy fireball down, and the Poison Globadiers may indeed die here, but the Triads are nearby now. All of a sudden, this Jaw has turned, though. A fireball to the back of the dome has broken one of the chieftains. The other one is looking a little worse for wear. Prince Sigvald needs to die, and he needs to die right now if there's any chance for Skaven victory. So this Gracer needs to give up whatever he's doing, come over here and start beating the arse of Prince Sigvald, who is down to 300 HP, but he's got to die. Poison Globadiers could well indeed be saved here. We have Marauders just shutting them down, but as their prince falls, they lose hope and start running for the hills. And just like that, the Force of Chaos are looking a little bit rocky. Now, we still have a lot of cavalry. They are definitely not out of this yet. We have javelins, we have fireballs, we have plenty of potential to kill those single entities of Skaven, but it is still a little bit rough. And we even have a Blight Scab Plague Pack coming back to give that immune psychology, which will be okay, I suppose. It will stop the fear of the spawn kicking in, which would be quite nice. Horsemen are overwhelming some Skaven slaves here. It's probably going to be a slow, drawn-out game now, I'd think. Warriors of Chaos probably trying to float around and finish off any units who could come back. We've got a couple of Skaven slaves. They heard whispers on the wind that actually they got a chance of winning, and they are on arrival. Bit of a misplay here by Mofet. He needs to take fire at will off all of his cavalry right now. They cannot afford to waste shots into, like, Triads and stuff. They need them to bring down the big boys. Now, unfortunately, the Chieftain is going to get, like, fireball sniped to death, but hats off to these Chieftains. They have been chads beyond belief. Absolute heroes of the Skaven Imperium, doing a big number on Sigvald, kind of teaming up. He's already lost his brother, and now he's getting fireball to death, but 1.4k value. Poison Globadiers being alive is honestly really scary stuff here. So Mofet's going to continue to kind of jump around with his cavalry. Looks like finish off the isolated units. The Ishgard Triads are most likely going to die here, but they are hidden, so they could maybe jump at the Hellstriders. And elsewhere, the Clan Rats and Skaven Slaves are attempting to shut down Javelins, who have now been taken off fire at will, which is something that I agree with. And they're going to just come for a big fat surround on these, although more Javelins are being thrown, but bit of a surround on these units just to break them with as minimal casualties as possible. Really top tier play there by Mofet to get that isolation and surround. Going to come down to the Lord. Now, a fireball has come in. Can the Chieftain dodge it? No. He's a bit of a slumberous beast when he's this tired. Only 1,600 HP left for him. Is Mofet paying attention? He is indeed. Okay, he didn't let the Triads jump him. If they got their duplicate off in front of him, they might be able to pin him in place. But with the Gracer, who's probably got a lot of wins of magic now, he's been saving up magic, whereas the Warriors of Chaos player has been bumping it all day. So if we have a dreaded 13th summon, I think this is game over. I think once the cavalry commits, if we get a dreaded 13th spell placed on them and it explodes upon them, then all of a sudden the Chaos player is going to be doomed. But that may not necessarily be the case. We don't know how much magic he has, and he has summoned some Clan Rats over the course of the game. Chieftain takes yet another fireball directly to the face. Surely there can't be that many left. It's been a long battle so far, 8 minutes and 30 seconds, which for a land battle is significant. Now, there's so much cavalry coming with the surround. I feel like the Chieftain's going to break, and there's a good chance that the Gracer breaks. So this is really going to come down to what summons we have left. Now, the Warriors of Chaos player is like floating around with the Horsemen. I am not refereeing, by the way, today, just saying. In advance, if anything does pop up, there's no point mentioning it to me in chat. It's been refereed by Hanadin today, who's a really, like, awesome dude, by the way. He's, like, organized this event and invited me to the co-caster. So it looks like the Poison Globadiers are attempting to get off one or two volleys. Are they going to connect? Oh my god, they got a throw on them. They got a throw on them. I don't know if they actually got any damage off there. It doesn't look like it, although it looks like the Horseman may actually break there. Another fireball comes in, once again at clipping the Chieftain. He is not having a good day whatsoever. Triads trying to stick together with their Liege Lord. Eventually, the ammunition will wane, though, on Mofet. It looks like this Chieftain is doomed, so he might just be sacrificing him to the enemy Javelins. It's always good to juke now and again. So we do get a big charge come in. It is a summon. Alas, it is just a Clan Rat summon. And it looks like the Poison Globadiers are most certainly going to die. Chieftain dying, bleeding, guts pulling out from multiple gashes in his body. Once again, jumps with joyful glee into combat, beats down a couple of Hellstriders, and sends them packing back to the Foul Abyss from whence they came. It's not often that the Skaven are the good guys, but the Skaven are the good guys. So it looks like Skaven are continuing to scrap. This is crazy. This is like the best game so far. This has been awesome. I'm so happy the Chieftains are doing good. But the Chieftains, 650 HP left. Yet another fireball. He needs to make for the trees. He gets hit again. I think every fireball has hit him. Not the best unit to dodge, I'm afraid. Trides are also getting jumped, and it looks like Skaven are getting picked apart a little bit here in the latter stages of the battle. And I think, despite a ridiculously valiant effort from Chosen One, the comeback's been bonkers. I don't think he can do it because the ammunition on the Horseman. I just feel like it's going to be too much for the Greyseer. He's such a big target. They're going to do an absurd amount of damage before he can get going. There's probably going to be fireballs as well coming in. Looks like Alfredino decided to leave the game there. Unfortunately, he may have dropped. We will be able to continue in his stead. Alfredino is streaming on Twitch, by the way. Should be noted on the ODM's official channel. Looks like the Triads are still fighting. 26 models isn't bad, actually, for damage output. They need to be fighting alongside the Greyseer, though, I think. But alas, they have broken, I believe. It's tough to say. There's a lot of banners in here. But it looks like they have indeed gone down. Summoners continuing to fight. Greyseer is going to have to stick it now. Hellstrides also have anti-large. So summons can be used to drag them down over time. Morale's not going to be best for them. They did lose Prince Sigvald, but there's so many troops left, and I think the slow picking apart of the fireball alongside the ability here just to basically cycle charge with the Hellstriders is going to be a little bit gnarly. Lovely ability, though. It looks like Chosen One's not out this fight yet, at least in his mind. Marauders are forced off, but the band's power once again does start to fall away from him, and the Horsemen, 2 volleys left, but they've done big damage to him. 69 kills. Need to be careful. They are close to breaking. Only 270 value on them is pretty pathetic there, it must be said. But hey, if they get the value in the end, it doesn't really matter, right? The attack animations actually saved the Greyseer. I don't know. This fireball hit something. Oh, the fireball missed? The Triads are back? What are we witnessing? Now, there is 11 Chaos Spawn in the distance, though, and they are unbreakable. So they will be quite the match for the Greyseer, you would think, particularly if all these Hellstriders are around, but if we can get 1 or 2 summons off. Now, what summon is this? It is Clan Rats again, which is a shame. The Clan Rats aren't going to do too much here. They will protect the Greyseer, but he's starting to waver, and that was a marathon of a game, but that was legendary stuff. That was a phenomenal game. Very well played to Mofet for taking that the Scalper Chosen One, who's not an easy player to drag down. Well played to Chosen One because he started well, and then his back line got absolutely stomped, like in a second. And it looked like it was all over, but he just scrapped. Those Chieftains, MVPs for me. Beating down Sigvald, I didn't think they had it in him. We are going to be getting a nasty little strike, maybe to finish this off in glorious fashion. Boom! Oh, was that the Dreaded 13th? It was too little too late! No! The Dreaded 13th, he was trying to bunch up all his enemy forces, but then they start shattering. The Horsemen have to commit to a fight. Oh, no, they don't. They've got, like, Hellstriders here who can commit to a fight. That is such a shame. I wonder why he took so long to cast it. Maybe going for that big explosion? But there's just not enough time. Like, the only one unit of cavalry has to fight at a time, and the Stormwomen just don't have the luxury. You could do some, like, real nice stuff here, like, move all your other units, like, to the far reaches of the battlefield, and then just move one unit in slowly at a time. But we also have Spawn in the distance coming back, so the Chosen One going down with an absolute bang there. If that was, like, a minute earlier, maybe there was hope. Maybe, but only really if Mofet got cocky and I think bunched up on his opponent. That was wild. That's the best game I've cast in, like, months. That was amazing. Very well played. Whoa. Yeah, well played for the Warriors of Chaos. Like, I don't want to take anything away from Mofet. That was very well played by him. That early collapse was beautiful. It really was. I'm just hyping up the Skaven so much because I love the build. Like, the Chieftains, 1.3k and 1.4k value. Our boys didn't do so good, the Blight Scab pack. Tried it okay, just shy of 1,000 value. And I felt like the Poison Globadiers were used quite effectively here, considering the, like, Chaos who they're up against. And, like, notoriously good for running over people. 950 value, 500 value, 640, Greyseer 900. Sigvald 1.5k, so he did out-trade, like, the Chieftains, despite being 2-on-1 value-wise. At least value, like, 1-on-1, but overall kind of suffered against them. The Fire Sorcerer is probably the MVP, I would say, for Warriors of Chaos. Just those fireballs. Like, the Burner Heads are nice, particularly the first one on the Blight Scar pack, but the fireballs were really where it was at there. 1,200 value. Not bad at all. Spawned it okay. Nothing too crazy, to be honest. But yeah, 1.2k on Hellstriders, though, and 1.7k. Oh, that is disgusting. 293, 224 kills. Real top-tier stuff. That was great work. Well played. And the best news is, guys, we're going to go again. We're going to go again. We get to see these two warriors crash at it. Let's update the scoreboard. And we'll make sure we get Aphrodite back in. So that was Mofet taking the victory. 1-0 to the boy. Game has ended. Let's just see if he's hot back in. I assume he's not. Go. Game has ended. Can you see the lobby? And then we'll hop in again. Oh no, has it made me like the host? No, it hasn't, cool. Because I can't remember what maps they're playing on. What's up, Maiden? What's up, Shidoku? How's it going, chads? McRightface! What's up, man? A long time no see. How's it going? How your YouTube channel's going well? Feel free to shoot a link in... Oh, you might not be able to pop a link. If you send me a link on Discord, if you're still doing the YouTube stuff, I'll advertise it in chat for you. If that last breath summon had won the game, Blackthorn, I think I would have died. I think I would have had a heart attack. That game was wild. It was so good. What's up, Emmanuel Scott? How's it going, champ? Great to see you as well, McRightface. Yeah, Bonebreaker's called Fear, I believe. And not Terror. Oh, so that's what you guys are discussing. What's up, Panther Man? How's it going, Chad? I hope you're all good today. Hope you are having a glorious day. Yeah, I thought the Globe did really well. I thought they did solid. I'd like to see Warp Fire throws being used by people, but Aphrodite has not responded, my friend. Where are you? Has he stopped streaming? I don't know if something came up. Let's quickly check the stream strength. Okay. Looks like we're all good in the herd. Okay, let's wait to see if he comes back. Hopefully he does. Hey, Shidoku, your boy's doing you proud today. Chosen One's been very good. I'm sure he was very... I mean, he's all good in like almost every tournament, to be honest. He's like a serial winner, I swear, at Total War. Always see him in like semi-finals and finals. But Mofet is a tricky customer, and it looks like Mofet is most likely going to be whipping out the Vampire count today. We've seen a lot of counts. We have seen a lot of counts, and I expect that to be a kind of trend in the multiplayer scene for a while at least. Human Boy's been using Warpfire throws lately? Oh, awesome. Yeah, Warpfire throws. Rattling guns are probably my favourite ones. I think the Teeth Breakers, I think there's a place for rattling guns. It's just they're quite difficult to use. The mortars are very good as well. The mortars are really, really nasty. They used to be broken, but they got fixed a while ago. Okay, Aphrodite's not responding. I'm not sure what's going up. But you can always check out his stream. It's weird. Okay, I'm gonna start spying on him. Oh god, sorry for that noise. Total War. I don't see his channel. So Lawmaster's streaming, Elchi TV streaming. Where are you hiding? I don't see him. I don't know what's going on. So we're gonna try and find like ODM's like channel, make sure that they're still like everything's okay with Aphrodite. Hope he's okay. I think if I go to the bracket, there was a link to the channel. Bam, there we go. He's still there. He doesn't know I'm stalking him. I'm watching Alfredino right now, and he doesn't know. Mwahaha. I like his banner here, actually. Let me link you guys to him as well. Obviously, I want you to stay here and chat. But just for future, if you guys want to check out ODM's like official channel, let me leave a link to it. I'm glad it's kind of cool to have like a clan channel, right? So this is ODM Twitch channel. Boop. Can I invite him or something? I think it has to be Chosen One who does it. At least I think so. Wolf Throws just are fun. They give me like Iron Drake vibes, so I think Iron Drakes are a bit better. And I feel like Iron Drakes were always a tiny wee bit underrated. Like there was a few matchups you could really make them pop. Particularly in maths. Yeah, the Wolf Throws are really nice. McRae Face as well, because you don't really mind about roasting your own rats in the front line. Whereas with Dwarfs, there's a little bit more concern with that type of thing. You don't really want to be shooting Dwarfs in the back of the dome. I really like the music in the Total War games in general. Have a sip of our drink whilst we wait for these lads. Hey, we've got 68 people watching. Hope you guys are all having a swell time. It's been crazy so far. This is the second semi-final. So we did see Von Carstein versus Dr. Jellyfish in game 1, which I believe was 2-0 to Jellyfish. I have an Agent Duck mind, so I am sometimes insane with it, so maybe that wasn't correct. I'm pretty sure it was 2-0 for Jellyfish. It will be seen in the finals. And so far, Chosen One's got his back on the ropes, so he's certainly not out of this yet. An incredibly close first game in this best-of-3 series. And he is going to be Demons of Chaos taking on the Vampire Counts, which this is going to be a scrap. This is going to be a weird one. I don't know how I would play this. I don't think I've done this matchup yet, actually. Demons into Counts. I've done Demons into Counts into Slanesh, which is an interesting one. Chosen can quite comfortably win the mobility game if he wants. Now, I believe Graveguard and Black Knights now both do magical attacks, which is going to be pretty useful here. I don't know if they're necessarily the options I would go for, though. Both are an incredibly experienced Vampire Camp player, so I'm sure he knows what's up. And Alfredino has joined. The man, the myth, the legend is back, which is all good. Yeah, the music's so good, like, but it's been always good. I remember this was years ago, like years and years and years ago, when I was still living at home, so like before I'd moved out, before like university and all that kind of stuff. I was like relatively young. And I have an older sister, and her boyfriend came over, and I was playing Rome Total War on my laptop. And this was a while after Total War had like come out initially. And he heard the soundtrack, like he heard the music, and he instantly knew. He was like, "Oh my god, I used to play this game when I was like a kid." I instantly knew what it was. It's like some songs are iconic, and I love the fact some of the OG songs are still in the soundtrack to this day on new releases, which I like. But a lot of the new music's very good as well. It's very good. You don't need an excuse to roast your own Skaven slaves. It's part of the culture, man. It's part of the Skaven culture. Okay, it looks like we won't be seeing Vampire Counts. Interesting. These guys obviously doing their picks and bans in the on Discord, so you can't see what they are. But yeah, in this tournament they could pick 5 factions they were going to pick, and then I'm pretty sure it's just a kind of pick one ban type situation from there onwards. And it looks like Warriors of Chaos versus Demons of Chaos, which I feel would favor Warriors of Chaos personally, just off the top of my dome. I think this is a better situation for Mofet. Perhaps I am wrong there. Perhaps I'm wrong. Maybe we're going to see one of the new Lords. I'd love to see one of the DLC Lords in action. I don't think I've cast a game with one of the DLC Lords yet, I don't think. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think so. If you're not killing your slaves, you're not doing it right, says Droghouse. This post brought to you by the joint Skaven and Dark Elf Alliance. For sure, they do love it a little bit too much, I feel. Just a little bit too much. It's crazy, man. It's crazy to think back at those type of times. I mean, it's crazy to think of what happens at this time as well. Like, all around the world. It's kind of crazy to think too much into it. That's why we enjoy Total War. Allows us to escape a little bit. Have some good times. Wait, 69 people watching. Down chicka bow wow. Who is your money on? Who you guys think is going to pull this one out of the bag? Do you think the demons or the warriors? Demonic forces versus the manlins, the pretenders of chaos. Will face the true, but who is who? Is going to be the question here. Yeah, who's your money on? Do you think Chosen One can pull this back, or do you think a Mofet shall be victorious? I love that this has been a real top tier like affair so far between these two lads. So I would personally quite like to see this one go all the way. I would like to see Chosen One get a game off Mofet so we can go into like that best of 3 final between the two. And the winner's going to have a tough time though. In the finals shall not be easy. It's going to be best of 5 finals though. So we've got plenty of games left for you guys. Got a little sip of my drink while we wait. That's the good stuff. And Gorgazon shall be our map. I think we're going to be doing at least one new map in the finals, so you guys will get to see that. I think it's a really cool one as well. I think it's one with like a jousting field on the battlefield. Which, weird segue. I am still, like, believe it or not, I am still recovering from surgery, which has been going on now for like 4 or 5 months, it feels like. Probably closer to 4 months, but it feels like 5 months. But it's close. I'm having like another tiny minor up. I think they're just going to like stitch it together because it like won't fully heal, basically. But now that I'm like fully, soon to be able to do sport again, which is like the first time in like 2 years, I think. 2 years maybe. Because I had to have like surgery on my feet, and then surgery on my feet again, and then surgery on my feet again. And then surgery on my back. I finally be able to do sport again, which I'm really excited. So I'm trying to look at what sport to get into. And I am tempted. The segue's finally getting over from jousting. I'm tempted to do some of the, I think it's called Hemmer. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. Like historical something, 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 something. Is basically like training with medieval and ancient weapons and stuff, which is really cool. So I was tempted to look up, and I live in London, so there are a couple of clubs nearby which teach you how to use like long swords or sabers or spears and that kind of stuff. And I thought that'd be an absolute blast. Which if I do that, maybe I'll make a video on it at some point to like share my experience with it. Who knows? I don't like have any plans for that type of thing. I don't even know if I'm gonna do it as a sport, but I want to be doing a sport basically again to get kind of healthy. And I think that might be the chosen one. It is a lot cheaper than I thought it was going to be. I thought that type of sport's going to be crazy expensive, but they do big group sessions, I guess. So it was like £10 a session or something, incredibly cheap, and they have practice swords there. So, yeah, I think I'm going to pick it up, but it'll have to be either Friday evenings or weekends. So I'll have to see if they've got slots and so on. But funnily enough, the club I was looking at going to is taught by someone who I've watched on YouTube for a while. They do breakdowns of like movie fight scenes. They've been recently doing the Lord of the Rings ones, and they give their takes on them. Like, could this happen historically? Could it not happen? Is it a bit silly? Is it not? And what I like is that they don't... I find a few of the channels who do this sport to be a little bit like... They hate on a lot of movies for the sake of hating on movies without really thinking of the context of the movie necessarily. Because fights in movies are meant to be entertaining and not necessarily super realistic, and fights don't tend to go on for these long drawn out epic conclusions and so on. But he's quite good at like breaking down movies and like, hey, you know, this guy's a Jedi, so of course he can do a load of flips and stuff. Would I recommend it? No. But if you can pull it off, why not? So yeah, he seems like a fun guy. So hopefully, if he is doing another group lessons, I'll maybe try and learn a bit. Oh no, we've got Slanesh bots here. Historic European martial arts. That's the one. You have lost ever chicken. I think it's because of you that I might do it. Let me quickly banish this bot to the Shadow Realm. Get out of here. Report. There we go. Boom. And we're back. Slash is banned. Yes, get the hell out of here. Snashbot, speak on. If you're not in shape, the right places to walk. I'm still like, I'm not like hugely out of weight or anything like that, Major Muller. But yeah, basically just because I've not been able to do any actual sport. I've been able to walk, luckily. I wasn't like for a while, like obviously after every operation. I can walk now. I still can't run and stuff though. So yeah, what I'll probably do, I think that's some good advice. I'll probably start with like going on some longer walks, doing some jogging, and then going into like the hammer stuff. Or Hema, Hema, I don't know how to pronounce it. Hema, I believe. The like count attracted the smash bots. Zypher, you did it deliberately. I know you're a Marathi fan. He's got a fancy for Slash. Okay, looks like we switched back. It is Demons of Chaos versus Vampire Counts. Okay. I think... Is this better or worse for Chosen One? Because I felt like Warriors of Chaos wasn't necessarily good for him. There's a decent amount of magic attacks you can bring from the Vampire Counts. Looks like they haven't brought them, though. Oh, they got Black Knights. I take that back. It's an interesting armies on both sides. This is a cool Demons army, actually. Oh god, Chosen One hasn't used Wood Elves yet. What are we seeing? Where's the Wood Elf pick? Hopefully we see them in the next round. What's up, Torx the Brass Ball? How's it going, Chad? Haven't seen you in a long time. If I teach you more Warhammer, you can teach you some Hammer? That sounds like a good deal to me. I know literally nothing. Like, I've never done any of it before. Obviously, I'm a Total War streamer. I have an interest in warfare, which is, like, pretty obvious. I'm a big fan of researching, like, the Second Punic War. I like the Adventures of Alexander as well. Admiral Yi's a lot of fun. There's a load of, like, cool stuff I like looking back on. Medieval era is fun. I love the Viking era probably a little bit more as well. Highly recommend the historical fiction books, which are The Last Kingdom by Bernard Cornwell, I think his name is. Well, adapted into a very good Netflix show, but the books are truly just something else. They're amazing. But anyway, let's hop back into the battle. And Chosen One, trying to win my heart. First going with a double chieftain, and then coming in with a gigantic duck. This is what I want to look like after like one workout, getting fit again. This is what I want to be like. So we do have oh god, Zarivak the Feathered Prince, a giant duck in other words. Coming in with the Blue Fire of Tzeentch, we have the Infernal Gateway, as well as Pink Fire. We've got a couple of the old Nurgle boys being brought into action, so a load of Plague Bearers of Nurgle, and Nurglings holding down the flanks. Now, their entire job today is to protect this back line, which is extensive in its reach. It is a load of pink horrors, and then a load of blue horrors, and I like the fact it's a relatively spread out formation. We've also got a couple of Furies up in the skies. Now, something that's going to be a gigantic problem, however, for this army is cavalry. Like, the air game and cavalry is going to be a little bit rough, and it looks like that is something Moffat has in plenty. We have Black Knights, we have Vargeist, we have Fellbats, we have a Blood Dragon Vampire Lord. We have a lot of pressure that can be applied to those pink horrors. It's going to be very tough to protect them. We've got a load of zombies in the front, which is the kind of way of things with vampire counts in general. A couple of skeleton spearmen, as well as some crypt horrors saturating on top. I know this used to be a tactic anyway, saturate on top of your front line with monstrous infantry, but it's become way more popular, I think, since the spawn renaissance of the start of Warhammer 3's kind of multiplayer life cycle. We've also got a Necromancer who's just having a little go with his Forbidden Rod, up to no good, of course. And let's get this underway. Very excited. Very excited. You heard duck can taste good? I mean, this is bad because obviously I am a rubber duck of war. But duck is delicious. It's one of my favorite things. Pancake rolls are like, mwah, they're beautiful. I might order some tonight. I was going to cook. It's got a little late here though. It's like nearly 9 PM already. So by the time this is finished, it'll probably be closer to 10, half 10. So I might get a takeaway. But anyway, enough of me. Let's get back in the action. And this is the second semi-final, guys. Remember, we still have a best-of-5 final after this. So plenty more games to come. It looks like the general forces of the Warriors of Chaos are going to be repositioning a little bit. Which, or not Warriors of Chaos, the Demons. It's going to be quite confusing for a while between those two factions, I'm sure, for a lot of casters. Looks like, oh my god, some lovely damage goes down on the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord. He's not enjoying that whatsoever. Of course, he is flammable as well. Is that permanent, or is that just because the effect got popped on him? I just assume because he's undead that he's flammable, but it looks like an early invocation heck has had to go down here. He is not flammable normally. Okay, that's less bad for him then. It is just the warp fire which applies that, but if he gets caught by a shot like that and then the pink horrors get popped on top of him, it's going to be gnarly. Now, this is some really good positioning by the demons. That's some real top tier stuff right here. So he's moving his army around, swinging it like a hammer to clatter into the left hand side of the vampire counts. The counts are slower of the two factions, and we need to whittle them down if the pink horrors and blue horrors are going to have any chance of being good and useful and not being shut down here. So moving around like this, I would continue to move, to be honest, in this situation. Ignore like half of the enemy army and pick them apart piecemeal. I think that's the best way of doing this. At least that's what I think. Now, the Chaos Furies of Chosen One are protecting their prize at the moment. We do have Black Knights floating in the back. There looks like the Furies will be counter-charging. And now the cavalry is starting to swarm a little bit. Skeleton Warriors are just taking a load of shots point-blank range to the face. It looks like, oh, they were a summon of Skeleton Warriors, so it's not so bad. Big shots once again go down on the Blood Dragon, who does come in with a breath attack. The shields pop and burst with an ear-cracking snap, but the pink horrors are relatively unscathed, and a lot of damage is coming in. You can see, because of the repositioning, the front line isn't hitting in time with the back line, and I really want those things to clatter together at the same time, stretching your opponent's micro, but Mofa is still doing a really good job. You can see he's applied a load of pressure to the back here, and even if they're not able to overwhelm all the pink horrors, they're forcing them to shoot on different targets, freeing up the front line for a big push, and the crypt horrors are starting to get through at the gaps now. Looks like a Gaze of Fate goes down the Vargeist. Not enough, though, as the pink horrors were indeed silenced by the Black Knights. I'm about to see yet another summon come down as well. It looks like this time it is once again going to be some Skeleton Warriors. Now, the Giant Duckling is trying his hardest. Hell and Discord does go down, however, so he certainly wants to be getting out of there as quickly as possible. Looks like on the far side, pink horrors are shooting in, doing some nice work, and this flank is relatively secure. Saying that, there are still Fellbats as well as the Devils or Schwosthafen floating around and looking to swoop in upon their enemies. Pink horrors are holding it down as much as possible, but it is looking a little bit bleak here for the demons. That's not good news for Chosen here, because this is his last chance to try and scrap back into this best of 3 series. The third prince is going to be retreating once more. The Blood Dragon Vampire Lord has taken a bit of punishment, but he can take it because he, of course, can heal up. In the back, we get a lovely Invocation Heck go down on the Black Knights. It looks like one unit, unfortunately, is going to crumble regardless of that situation. Plague Bearers are fending off the enemy, and we still have double pink horrors down on this flank, as well as the blue horrors, which can do a gnarly amount of damage. We get some more big shots once again clatter into the flank of the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord, but he's looking far healthier than the giant demonic duck, which is obviously bodes pretty poorly for the demon faction here. Pink horrors are lining up some shots and unleashing it, trying to take away the mobility of the enemy, targeting the Vargeist and the Black Knights. It is a good start for sure, and it looks like the Plague Bearers with a Horn of Corn popped on them, doing some nice work here, and all of a sudden a lot of the Count's forces are kind of getting decimated. This reverse pocket is doing a load of damage here. Skeleton Spearmen trying to push more and more. There's still a load of infantry, but that can be finished off by other means in the form of magic, as well, of course, as the deadly Plague Bearers. But the fact the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord's still alive, those shots did a weird path to get here. It looks like they are pretty much all indeed gonna connect. The fact there's Crypt Horrors left alive is also a little bit scary, and more importantly, the Devils up in the skies, though a lot of the Vargeist have started to fall and disappear here. Very close game still. I don't think it's all over yet, but it does look like Mofet is in a state of advantage. Having this pocket of pink horrors still alive is really, really nice, and the blue horrors have a lot of ammunition, and they're currently getting protected by a wall of rotting flesh in the form of the Plague Bearers. Now in the back, the third prince does land, looks to clatter in to the Skeleton Spearmen, and they're going to be getting popped all over the place. Look how awesome he looks. This is a cool design for sure. I love the fact you can customize lords. That was one of the most mind-boggling things. I didn't think they'd ever do to a Total War game, but they managed to pull it off in Warhammer 3. Now, the Crypt Horrors are getting forced off here. There is a bit of an opening though. And it looks like it's going to be a double attack, so the Devils attacking from the skies, whilst the Crypt Horrors go on the low ground. It's going to be rather hard to protect the Pink Horrors from this. However, we do indeed have a Gaze of Fate. Unfortunately, popped in the Blooddragon Vampire Lord. It's a good play here, but it is going to sacrifice these Pink Horrors. They dropped it on the Devils or on the Crypt Horrors. Maybe they could have saved this pocket, but it looks like we're going for an assassination attempt instead, which isn't the worst idea in the world, but he's such a tanky Lord that I think protecting the back line for longer is probably the priority here. Good juking as well by Mofet is going to be keeping the Dragonblighted Lord alive. On the far side, a nice isolation, but the Plague Bearers really do not die, and they're not going to care that much about Crypt Horrors. Like, what's your poison going to do to us? Literally nothing. We are the poison. Big fight going down with the Lords. This could be the nail in the coffin, however. The fact this flank has crumpled is really bad news, because that's where the Pink Horror pressure was coming in. But this Helm of Discord play on top of the Feathered Prince is really rough. Pink Horrors are trying their best to hold it down and unleash deadly salvos onto the Blooddragon Vampire Lord. A Scroll of Shielding comes in, however, and it does look like the Feathered Prince was able to escape. He's also going to fire in some shots connecting with that Blooddragon Vampire Lord. He's not out this fight yet. Once again, scrapping back. The Plague Bearers will be able to deal with the majority of the enemy infantry. We even have some Nurglings on the way, but I think the turning point was having that Lord caught there. He has popped hidden in time to give him stalk and unspottable, but the fact that Lord got beat up like that means he's going to be a lot less boyish and kind of abusive, charging around, beating up troops. He has to stay out of the action, whereas the Blooddragon Vampire Lord has no such restrictions, and we see a big breath attack go down on the Pink Horrors, doing some nice work, and to put the nail in the coffin, he has enough magic for an invocation of the heck. The Devil's doing a good job here in the back. They are being, I guess, whittled down by Nurglings slowly. Get some more shots come in. A lovely attempted juke. You can see he's trying to land and get up again. 2 shots missed. In fact, they did explode in some blue horrors, but, you know, it's a lot of micro just to dodge 2 shots. But hey, if you got the micro to do it, you should certainly go for it. Looks like the Plague Bearers are dragging down a lot of the Spearmen here and trying to make a bit of a valiant last stand. We have some blue horrors freed up, but only momentarily. The Devils are now upon them. Plague Bearers doing some nice work all over the battlefield and really holding it down. But yeah, that hit and snipe on the Lord, I think, is what may have cost this game. What's up, Hank? Alfredino is indeed casting as well over on Twitch. He is doing on Twitch. What's up, Midnight Sun? How's it going? There's like a load of lag has kicked in here. Hopefully they don't crash. I mean, this is definitely game over. Like, there is no way back here. There is certainly no way back for the chosen one. Yeah, it looks like he's dropped from the game, but that was GG's. That game was already over. For sure. Oh, sure, but very well played, man. Chosen one played like a champ, though. Like a real top competitor. I thought he was very good all day long. 2.3k on the Third Prince is not shabby whatsoever. He just came up against a really informed Mofet. And I think the build, I like the build. Like, the idea behind the build's great. But I think Mofet kind of knew what to expect. Like 1,000 value still, despite so much pressure units, is really impressive. But he knew what to expect, so just mass Fellbats, Black Knights as well, getting big kills. The Devil's doing decent up in the skies as well. The Blooddragon Vampire Lord, 2.5k value. There was so much pressure, which isn't like a lot of, I think, more newbie Vampire Camp players would bring. But someone like Mofet like knows what's up, and he knows he needs to pressure and get in the back line, or he's going to be doomed. But very well played. Awesome stuff. Sad to hear the news, the last one. Yeah, Hank, so I'm going to do... This is going to be my last live stream on Total War. And then I will do one more video, because I know my fan base, there's some people who watch both streams and videos, some people who just watch streams, and some people who just watch videos. So obviously those people who only watch videos won't see this. But yeah, this is going to be my last one, and then there's going to be one last video afterwards as well. And then the YouTube channel's going to go quiet for a while. I will still be uploading content onto YouTube, but it won't be Total War multiplayer. I've done Total War like multiplayer for like 3.5 years. I hold over 1,000 Total War multiplayer videos. So I'm going to do something different, and it's going to be much more hobby-like, to be honest. I'm not going to try and do it like a full-time job, like we were kind of doing with this for like long periods of time. Like, you know, 7 videos a week, plus streams, all that kind of stuff isn't going to happen. They're more likely to be a video, you know, every couple of months or every month. The first couple of months probably won't be anything, but then after that, maybe like once a month, once every other couple of months. I'll have a video out. There'll be lots of things the videos will be on. I am not necessarily going to leave the Warhammer universe. Good chance I may do some Warhammer lore videos, like big deep dives, kind of Alt-Shift-X Game of Thrones style. If I do pick up the hammer, I will probably do some videos on that and like maybe show my progression or something like that in some small videos. But it'll be a little bit more hobby-like. So still feel free to unsubscribe if you're not interested in that stuff, but feel free to subscribe if you'd like to continue to find out what I'm doing, I guess. And any other projects I do indeed start. I will still always be doing projects. I'm a very creative person. I have to make stuff, unfortunately, in a way. It's good in one way, bad in another. So I'll always, this is like a good place to release that kind of stuff. And I will be doing soon-ish. I'm going to be wanting to do I don't know what it's called now that I think about it. It's not like called GoFundMe. There's like a website where you put up like ideas of like board games and stuff you want to make, and people can like fund them if they like them. But anyway, I did a story a while ago called White Ink. There's actually an audiobook version on my channel from years ago. And I want to get it converted into a small little like comic book, like a little graphic novel. It's very short, it's a short story. And then if that goes well, and I find an artist I like, then I've got some like much longer stories which aren't published. Because I'm too lazy to edit and then send them off to publishers because it's a very long process. Then I may try the same on there. So that'll all be done on YouTube as well. But anyway, let's enough about me. Let's hop back here. So that was 2-0, although it was a tough scrap for sure. Mofet had to bring out all the stops and play really well to take down Chosen One there. We are going to have to say goodbye to Chosen One, I'm afraid. And move on to the Dr. Jellyfish, who was a player who's improved so much from where he first started. He's a very talented dude. Hopefully the map is something really cool. I can't remember what the map was. Like a joust on the field. I think that's what it's meant to be. But who's your money on, lads? Dr. Jellyfish of Sons of the Mountain or Mofet, who is riding solo. No worries, Dracas. Sally got to run. Best of luck with the new gig again, Duck. Take care. Well, catch you later, man. Thank you so much for the support, dude. Thank you, my dude. Yeah, Nafis, you've been around for a long time. There's a guy called Ninja. Ninja Pingving. He was literally followed me since I had like 10 subscribers and still follows me now. So I've got some like real loyal like fan base. I really love my fan base. I got like a super nice group of people following me. I just don't think realistically, and it's not their fault at all, I don't harbor like any ill will towards them for it, but with like Milk and Cookies, Turin, and in a way, who's the guy who does all the tutorials? His name has slipped my mind. Zerkovich. With those three guys being bigger Moai player, I really don't think there's room for another Moai player guy who can realistically do numbers where they can do it more as a job. I don't think the game's big enough for it. You're too rusty to play out for a longer hiatus. Hey, Midnight Sun, we can get some games in, man, at some point. I'm still going to be playing Total War now and again. So we can get some games and I'll be equally rusty, don't worry about it. Yeah, the Discord's going to stay open, Hank. I'll probably do an announcement on there soon. Discord's going to stay open for, one, because that's where the DVD clan is located. I'm going to stay in the clan. I am passing over leadership. I believe, at least initially, to Logic. He's going to take over, see how it goes, and he may also pass it over to someone else, I don't know. Because I know he's got multiple jobs at the moment. So we'll have to see how that running goes. But yeah, no, the Discord's going to stay open for people to chat, people to meet up, play Total War. And I'm still going to, as I said, be releasing YouTube content, just very different content probably. And I'll still advertise it in Discord, because why not? I may even, if anything, I may be more active in Discord, or be able to be more active at least on weekends. Because at the moment I'm working during the week, and then on weekends I'm making videos non-stop, like get up Saturday, record a load of videos, or play a load of games to get videos, Sunday, record all the videos and stuff, so I haven't really had a chance to play with people on Discord in quite some time. Thank you so much, Midnight Sun. Yeah, my new job's going really good, by the way. The new job's going really good. It's tough. Like, I'm having to learn a lot, like, very quickly. But I'm really enjoying it. The people there are, like, super nice, so... I mean, I'm making YouTube videos for them. I just have to get them approved now. Like, normally I can just make what I want, right? And like, hey, in there I can make pretty much what I want. They're really nice about it. As long as I can justify it and it's on their games that they're publishing. But they're like, yeah, you can make what you want. Whatever you think's best, that's why we hired you. Which is really cool. But then I have to get it approved by them, approved by the people who make the games, approved by everyone. You know, rating systems in America are very hard to get approved by, it turns out. I don't like anything. So yeah, I'm learning a lot, but I will, like, maybe let you guys know when I drop my first video for them, so you guys can go check it out anyway, what I've been working on. So I've got, like, a tips and tricks video coming out with them. I have a trailer for a DLC. That was very interesting to make. I've not done anything like that before. I've made a trailer for a DLC. And, like, the game's really good, but I've turned it into, like, a Doom, like, trailer. Like, the music is hard. I'm really happy with it. I'll be making some guides for, like, a Souls-like game, actually, believe it or not, which I got to play through. But I won't mention what that is, because it's not out yet, so I don't know what I'm allowed to say and what I'm not allowed to say, so I won't say too much. Thank you, Pug! So he's got to head off now. It's been a blast, man, Pug. You've been a true Chad for a very long time, man. A true Chad. Hopefully we will meet across a battlefield sometime soon. I'll still be playing Total War now and again. Probably not for, like, I don't know, a couple of weeks. But I'll hop back on that soon. Thanks for all your effort you put into your content, and once again, good luck with your future projects. Thank you so much, Pug! Thank you, dude. You're honestly one of my favorite dudes. I will see you soon, my friend. I don't think Mo fits in VM. At least he doesn't have a clan tag. I think he just plays with a lot of the guys there. I did think of that, Cosmo. Like, why not just take a break from it? I know when I stop, I won't do it again. I, like, have been contemplating stopping for a very long time. And the new job's kind of, like, pushed it. That's like the tip of the iceberg type thing. So I just won't have time, I think, to start it up again. And as I said before, I will still release content, so again, feel free to stay subscribed. And all that stuff, because I will be releasing stuff. It just won't be Total War, because I've done Total War for like 3.5 years maybe, and yeah, 3.5 years is a long time to make content on just one game. Oh, thank you so much, Hanadins, the Chad himself. What'd you do as your job again? So I started a job about a month ago, a new job. And I am a video editor / streamer for a video game publisher in the UK. It's pretty cool. Not much crossover between fandoms, I wouldn't have thought. They've been around for a long time. Like, they're a relatively established company, but they release games that never got released in, like, the EU necessarily. So they do, like, all the EU releases for games from, like, Japan and so on. So games which aren't, like, you know, Elden Ring or something, like, huge. In Japan, might not necessarily, that the company who makes that game and like the publisher who publishes that game might not necessarily be able to publish worldwide because they're not big enough. So then they come to a company like the one I work for, and then we publish through all the EU, and then there's often an American partner, and they publish all in America, and so on and so on. So I make videos on their games, and I live stream their games. Pretty much, that's it. So I've not released anything yet. I've been there a month. I do have videos done, like I've done a lot of work, and I've had a lot of videos like internally approved, but we have to send them out to the people who make the games, because they're a publisher, which I guess for people not in the know, like, it's like a book publisher. Like, you bring them the product and then they sell it for you. Though they do also make their own games as well, and they have like 4 or 5 games in the works. It's kind of crazy, actually. Obviously, games take years to make, so that's kind of like in the long-term planning. I think they have some releasing next year. I think they might have like a remaster coming out or something, and then like the year after, or in 2 years' time, they'll have a new game, which I am incredibly excited for. Again, I don't want to say anything, because I know what I am allowed to say and what I'm not allowed to say. But they're working on a Metroidvania game, which is going to be dope. Yeah, Pogmap, I'll hit you up, man, about it. when I drop a guide on it. It's a very different Souls-like game. It's not like anything you'd experienced before. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, so basically, the reason I got the job was because of the YouTube channel. This was my show reel, pretty much. But I'm doing a lot more like heavy editing now. Using like Adobe Premiere, which I'd never used before. So that's been a challenge trying to learn that and create content at the same time. But my God, in like 1 month, I've learned like an insane amount. So I'm using that a lot more. I still hate Photoshop and always will. But I'm having to use that. I might download Krita on my work PC and just use that because I prefer it a lot more. It looks like the Mr. Oh, we're on Tony Grounds. This is the map I was thinking of. It's a really cool one. So this is the best of 5, by the way. I keep rambling about myself. But this is Hanadin's very own tournament. And it is going to be Dr. Jellyfish versus Mofet for a best of 5 final. Yet more chaos and yet more counts. Expect it. So it looks like we can see the pool that they could pick and ban from, because the lovely Hanadins did put it up. Mofet's forces were Vampire Counts, Warriors of Chaos, Slanesh, Nurgle, Zinch, Greenskins, and Wood Elves. Hopefully we see some Wood Elf action. I would really like that. The Jellyfish's pool was Vampires, Vampire Counts, Warriors of Chaos, Skaven, Dark Elves, GS? Who's GS? Oh, GC, sorry? Who's GC? My mind's gone blank. Who the hell's GC? Am I reading that right? GC. I can't think of greenskins. Might be GS. I don't know. I think greenskins and then dwarfs. Oh, a Creeder Shad. I got it because it was free. To help do thumbnails on YouTube. And then I just got used to it. And now having to switch over to Photoshop. Photoshop is such a pain in the ass. It's so annoying. There's like 50 layers. Nothing is explained. You try and delete a background. I tried to delete a background, right? Of an image. And it deleted the background. It also deleted the character's ear. But just his ear. That I was trying to do on like an image that I wanted to have in a video. And I didn't realize until I put it in the video. You can see this giant gaping hole. Like his brain was like leaking out through his ear. It was horrible. Yeah, Photoshop's weird. I'm sure it's great once you get used to it, and it'll take time. Once I get used to the software and stuff, it'll be a lot better. Yeah, I'll probably showcase some of the stuff in like my Discord, or at least to the like friends who want to like see the stuff that I'm making for this company. But it is very different. They don't do any RTS games. They do some fantasy stuff. They do like a mixture of like a load of stuff because again they work with they're like a publisher. They do like a wide mix of stuff, but no real like RTS or anything like that. Grand Cafe, oh my God. Jesus, you can tell I've been streaming for a while. Grand Cafe didn't even cross my mind. Who plays Grand Cafe? I guess it's Lambaus. Actually, everyone plays Grand Cafe. Or used to. I was like, gee, there's no faction apart from the Greenskins. Like, come on. I feel like the Greenskins deserve it as their own thing. I love how I look down and on my phone, which is where I see chat. It's like, Grand Cafe, Grand Cafe, Grand Cafe, Grand Cafe. That was my bad. Yeah, no, I need to get used to Photoshop. I am going to use it. It is the industry standard, you know. Same with like Adobe Pro. Like I use DaVinci. I've had to learn how to use Adobe. But once you get used to it, it's relatively similar. There's lots of cool stuff you can do on there. And lots of cool stuff indeed. The Tawny Grounds, man, such a badass map. I love the idea of this map, let alone like the execution being really nice, which is also really good. It looks like we may be getting Warriors of Chaos versus Nurgle. Interesting fight. I want to see Nurgle in action. Oh, Slanesh, what are you doing? You weren't invited. You weren't invited. Get out of here. You are forbidden. Yeah, hopefully we get like... I swear someone picked A, right? Let me scroll up. Yeah, Jellyfish is dwarfs. He used to be a dwarf main. You used to play a lot of dwarfs. I think a lot of vampirates. I think I remember facing his vampirates a lot. I think I managed to whip out the old... I had a build. Oh, it was so dumb. It was such a dumb build, but it could often work. I'd bring the Shredder of Lustria against vampirates. It sounds so dumb, but I swear I generally got a lot of tournament wins with it. You'd bring the Shredder, Krotgar, a Manticore Summon Priest, and then just a crap ton of skinks, that all you could afford, and then a load of Pterodons. There's mass Pterodon Fire Leech Bowlers. You'd use them to instantly rock drop all their guns, and then just launch Fire Leech Bowlers at them all day. And nothing can kill a Krotgar and the Shredder. Like, they can easily get through crabs and the enemy lords very quickly. And the chaff can't do anything against the Shredder. It grinds them eventually. It was such a dumb build, but oh man, that's my favorite thing about this game, and always has been, was winning against some like super talented tournament players, bringing these like hardcore meta builds. And imagine just bringing something really dumb and managing to come out on top a few times. There was one against Charix, who's this really lovely dude, very talented high elf player, and there's this really cheesy like line chariot healing blob kite kind of high elf build that was popular for a long time. And this was, like, quite far along in a tournament, so I was like, you know, you go far in a tournament, you expect people to bring, like, what's good? Like, they should bring good builds, right? So I was expecting Charix, a very good, talented tournament player, to bring this kind of chariot build, which he did do. And I managed to counter it with using a combination of Nakai, Lord Croak, and the Shredder of Lustria as a Doom Blob to counter the fact that everyone brings a Frostheart Phoenix to nuke your stats, and then the Chariot's, like, unkillable, and you heal them as well. But with that combination, like the Mask of Death and stuff, I also nuked their stats. So we all had garbage stats, but I had to Supreme Shield of the old ones, and a goddamn Shredder of Lustria. And Nakai, of course, can do his big air effect buffs, and it managed to win, and it was just so funny. It was so funny. That's definitely some of my favourite stuff to do. Another of my favourite Total War moments actually was, I got so many, but I used to host these one build Battle Royale tournaments, where you can only bring one army, and you set your army, spells, chevrons, everything, and you have to play that army for, you know, the end of time. For the end of the tournament, you have to play that army. And I actually I played in a few of them, because they're really good fun, like my own tournaments, and I got like 2 live stream into the finals a few times. But I think the last one I ever hosted, I won. And it was a Warhammer 2 one. One build Battle Royale, and I won with Norska. With a real dumb double mammoth, like, not Soul Grinder. I think I had the Regiment Renowned Mammoth. No, I had the War Shrines. I had like 2 War Shrines. There's a real dumb Norscan build, and it just catches people off guard. Snatch be banned. Thank you. I don't know if you managed to catch some Black Fawn or I did. But they have been slain. Look how gorgeous this map is. Oh. Audio glitch. Seems fine. This map is freaking gorgeous. Man, it is so good. And look. Ignore the battle. Wait, is it here? Yes. Look. There's like a jousting ring. It's not called a ring. I can't remember what it's called. The stands? Like the jousting stands? Who knows? But I love this. This is really badass. Anyway, back to the action. So it is going to be the old Papa Nurgle. Now, I've not actually seen that many of the DLC units and stuff. I've not had time to play it when they've been active. And it looks like we have some on display today, which is really cool. So we have Marauder Horsemen. So Nurgle, believe it or not, have Skirmish Cavalry now. It is the Throne Axis, so it's relatively short range. And they look very sickly. They need to see a doctor, and they're not looking too healthy. We also have 2 Exalted Heroes of Nurgle, which is, again, new units to the game. They look dope as fuck. Look at those helms. The triple eyes? I've heard they're very, like, brokenly good as well. We have a Soul Grinder, load of infantry in the form of Marauders of Nurgle, which, again, is relatively new. We have a Spawn of Nurgle. We do have Festus the Leech Lord. We have Spawn as well as Chaos Furies. Festus, incredibly powerful, because he is both a Mortis Engine and an Air Effect Healer at the same time. The Warriors of Chaos here of Dr. Jellyfish, a load of Horse Masters. Oh, sorry about that. Burp in mid-sentence. A load of Horse Masters, a load of Skirmish Cav, Hellstriders, and then a Forsaken Bomb Rush build. Interesting stuff. Prince Civil, just because he won't die. We have a Chaos Sorcerer of Shadows lurking in the trees. Coming in a Pit of Shades, of course, and an Exalted Lord of Nurgle himself. Gonna be an interesting fight. Like, the Skirmish should go in favor of Dr. Jellyfish, but the longer it goes on, the more value that Soul Grinder can chip away at them. So maybe not. And we can see here a lovely little kind of push forward as well with the Exotic Heroes and Nurgle. They're so tanky with 120 armor. Trying to get your opponent to waste shots on them is quite a smart play here. So Soul Grinder's going to continue to pound down. Hellstriders are exploding in puffs of noxious gas, and it's all around having a bad day. And is this the healing effect? Yeah, this is the healing elixir. So he's got a couple of different elixirs. Let's look at his model quickly while the battle's not really starting yet. Man, the model's been getting better and better. Like, both for Games Workshop and Creative Assembly, their model design now is, like, off the frickin' chain. It is so cool. I can't wait to see what they do in the future. I pray they do a Warhammer 40k Total War. I really do. So it looks like somehow the Nurgle Cavalry's been allowed of Mofet to actually pepper down the Forsaken, which is a really nice pickup by him. It looks like Dr. Jellyfish's skirmish cavs not able to actually get there. It's been fended off by Marauders. So early on, I would say really nice trade so far by Mofet. I think he's in a solid position. Forsaken, again, absolutely torn a new one. And the Soul Grinder is kind of countering the skirmish cav. Despite the numerical advantage of them, they're getting a lot less work done so far than the Nurgle player, who's actually going to kite backwards. Nurgle kite, ladies and gentlemen, is indeed a thing. This is something new. I mean, I've seen like double Soul Grinder kite before, but with the Horseman, it is truly a sight to behold. Now, Hellstrider's getting a little overeager. Do try and fend off the enemy. They're only really going to have to take a bit of damage for that. But at least it is going to help the Forsaken. Now, good news here for the Warriors of Chaos players. Forsaken are going to well and truly pop the dome of the Marauders incredibly quickly. They're designed to kill such units. Although, with Festus nearby, maybe not. I haven't seen his healing in action myself yet, but I have heard it is rather naughty. So it seems like the Throne Axes are once again focusing down the Forsaken, the perfect target for this type of unit. There is a bit of counterfire coming in as soon as the Hellstriders do spring the trap, though. You can see Mofet very quick with the micro is going to fall back to the safety of the trees there. Hellstriders are rapid. They are about to intercept the enemy and start dragging down those Nurgle Throne Axes. There are some Warhounds who are going to put their bodies on the line, desperately looking to save their Throne Axes. I think at this point, Jellyfish needs to pull back his troops because this is going to be a losing fight now with the Furies moving over there. Festus is continuing to fall back. It looks like the Soul Grinder is taking a little bit of damage. It's going to fall back, though, relatively unscathed. And now the Forsaken are actually hitting the front line. I expect them to do pretty good damage here. Looks like the Nurgle player's been forced back almost all the way to the edge of the board here. And that does bode a little bit poorly for the units like Marauders, who have low morale and will rout very quickly towards that board edge. Forsaken are now bumping and grinding in the frontier of the glorious feats of combat. I say glorious feats with this many like horrible troops around. Holy cow, look at that axe. That is freaking dope. But with this many like Nurgle units around, it's probably a horrible battlefield to be on. We have a 2v1 Exalted Hero of Nurgle fight going on. Not going well for the one. Look how quickly Jellyfish's hero is getting put in a trash can. Prince Sivold's nearby though, and he'll be a much more powerful foe. Looks like the Horsemen are now getting online a little bit better and focusing down those Spawn and other key units that they really need to drag down. There are some Furies in the back, though, shutting them down. And it looks like the Horsemen and Mofet were able to escape, somehow slithering and squelching through the gap left open to them. Prince Sigvald fighting alone here in the middle, though. It looks like the mighty Festus of the Leech Lord is proving the difference maker in the middle, alongside those Exalted Heroes as well, who, it must be said, have done a pretty phenomenal job. However, on this right-hand flank, it looks like the Warriors of Chaos of Jellyfish are doing a fantastic job here. The Spawn are taking a lot of damage. Horsemen are rotating up and around, looking to get those throwing axes and javelins into the action. But it must be said, I feel like with the Soul Grinder and Heroes still truly healthy, and the Exalted Hero of Nurgle being forced off by Jellyfish, or at least being countered very effectively with the double of the force of Nurgle, I feel like Mofet's in a pretty commanding position right now, and Banspower does agree. That may change, though. A Pit of Shades does count down. Now, it's a good cast, right? It's going to help out in this real nasty fight in the middle, but it's only really doing damage to one unit of Marauders. The single entities don't really care about Pit of Shades, so not the best use of it, but there's not that many other good targets. Like the Horseman can easily scatter to the winds if that comes in. And the single entities, of course, it's not going to do any damage to. Now, Jellyfish has a load of Horse Masters who are starting to roam back into the main fight. It looks like aroused back to battle due to the rallying cries of the Exalted Hero. Lovely little Shimmer Corruption goes down the line. Incredibly close fight. Sigvald's doing okay, but it looks like his spellcaster is now being gooned out by the double Exalted Hero of Nurgle, which, as far as I'm aware, is very meta and kind of nasty. And with them alive, I think Sigvald's not going to stand too much of a chance. A couple of javelins are being wasted, unfortunately, on the Marauders. They should just charge in there and finish them off in hand-to-hand combat. Festus is basically full HP at this point. Forsaken doing some decent work. It looks like the Throne Axes are starting to dwindle, at least ammunition-wise. Forsaken being added into the fray once more could prove pretty huge. Now, the real question here is Sigvald. Does he have enough about him to kill 2 units of the Exalted Hero and Festus and a unit Chaos Spawn? I think no, personally, but he's going to have to do that if he wants victory. But the healing Alexis going down is going to be so gnarly. Plus a Soul Grinder on top. Yeah, this is unwinnable. This is definitely unwinnable. Horsemen jump the enemy. Furies are chasing down horsemen, scattering them. The horses don't like the smell, of course, of the demons and don't really know what to do, and they're kind of panicking, going all wide-eyed and fleeing. Looks like this is only a matter of time, I'm afraid, to army losses really kick in. I think the fact it's being kept alive is simply due to the fact how healthy Prince Sigvald is. But there's simply no way, surely, at this point. Not with the Soul Grinder, and not with the Spawn being healed left on the battlefield. Chaos Sorcerers on arrival. Marauders are coming back as well. We're going to get yet another Pit of Shades. This one a little bit better, I think, actually. So it may catch the Horseman. No, nice reflex from Mofet is going to mean he's going to be able to dodge. Pretty much the worst of the damage there, and it's more of a metaphorical middle finger right now to the enemy rather than anything else. And Prince Sigvald's trying to hold it down. He's trying his best. Festus, likewise, 2 tanky lords looking across the battlefield as a nod of respect to one another. But Festus has this in the bag. Shimmer Corruption goes down. The Marauders are done for. It looks like the Exalted Hero is getting a rather grand escort off the battlefield. I guess that goes to show you the power of the Exalted Lord and his renown, that he gets such a warmer destruction as he is driven away there. Hunted down by the Soul Grinder and double Exalted Hero of Nurgle. They're on their way back to the fight as well to come say hello to Prince Sigvald, who's desperately clinging on for any type of hope. But Warhounds are doing a decent job. They're forcing off a lot of the Throne Axes. They've surrounded this Chaos Sorcerer, biting at the golden flaming feet of his steed. And it looks like Festus is even getting in on the action. Look at that animation, just like vomiting up all that goo in the back. And he's got a little Nurglin with him. Oh, the little Nurglin's so happy. Charge! I like to think that the Nurglin's, like, secretly in charge. Like, he's actually the brains of the operation doing the spells. Festus is just, like, his bodyguard who has to carry him into battle. And it is, as often as it is, when Prince Sigvald gets brought in a battle, Sigvald against the world, but army losses is kicking in. And that is going to be game 1 to Mofet in this best of 5 series. Gotta go, Duck. Thanks for everything and best wishes. See you around in the clan. See you soon, Blackthorn. We have to get some games in soon. This weekend I'm very busy. Next week I'm traveling home for the first time in a ridiculous amount of time. But from that point onwards, weekends I'll be down to play and do some games with people. Tilting Ground. That's what I was thinking of, Mossy. Thank you. I think you're right. The new units are definitely great, 100%. 100%. Well played to these lads. 1.2k value nearly on Sigvald. I like the new unit design for the Chaos Sorcerer as far as the unit card is there. 800 value on him, only 500 on his Lord. Yeah, it was a bit rough, really. I think. I feel like Mofet just got good engagements in the early, mid, and late games. Like, early game, one up with the Skirmish Cav. Mid game, gooned out the enemy characters with his own characters. And in the late game, at that point, there's not much, unfortunately, that Jellyfish could do to come back. 1.6k on the Soul Grinder is very impressive. 900... No way. They got exactly the same gold value. Oh, no. I'm tripping. They did not get exactly the same gold value. 991 gold value and 911 gold value. Very close, though. The brothers trying to outdo each other. But it looks like one was indeed victorious. Skirmish Cav not the best value, I guess, all round, but it did better than the opponents. And got some nice picks on key targets in the early stages of the battle. Well played. It is best of 5, though. Still got plenty of games left to come. Mofet, however, is in on the rise. 1-0 to the bad boy. Boop. Got back in the game. Gonna have a bit of my drink. Oh, it's so good, man. Streaming makes you so thirsty. Like rapid fire talking which is how I like to do my commentary. I know it was like some people prefer the more chilled out, mellow commentary. I liked a fast-paced kind of it's like sports commentator style. But by God, it does destroy your voice a little bit. The Nurglin is the village of Nurgle. Hell yeah! I'm honestly just excited to have some time to play the game and just enjoy it. Not have to worry about like, oh, like what do I have to bring to make this castable and all that stuff. Just chill out, play some games, have some fun, and try the new stuff. Because I've really not tried any of the DLC stuff really. I've tried all like the old factions against the new factions and that kind of stuff. Okay, let's see what they're gonna go for. I think somewhere, yeah, further up. Paladins hit the list. So Mofet there was Nurgle. He still has Vampire Counts, Warriors of Chaos, Slaanesh, Tzeentch, and Greenskins and Wood Elves to pick from. Dr. Jellyfish just played Warriors of Chaos. He's still in his pool of factions. Has Vampirates, Vampire Counts, Skaven, Dark Elves, Grand Cathay, and Dwarfs. I really want to see, personally, Wood Elves and Dwarfs. I wouldn't mind seeing Skaven as well, but Wood Elves and Dwarfs is what I really want to see. And I would really love to see Wood Elves versus Dwarfs. I think due to the fact Dowie's magic resistance works differently now, it's probably a horrible matchup for Dwarfs now, actually, thinking about it. But there was this, like, it came down to this real bad meta in the end, where Wood Elves would just kite Dwarfs. I think they've got a lot more potential now that all their tree units, Strides are incredibly fast, can actually hurt Dwarfs now, and Blade Singers. Blade Singers already, with the Shard on the Branch Wraith, could kill any Dwarf unit in the game. It was a real tough combo to do, and pull off, and not get them obliterated on approach. But now the fact that their magic attacks don't hinder them, I'd love to see some Blade Singers up against Dwarfs. It'd be really cool. Dowie must prevail. Swiss, I would love some Dowie for sure. High energy, best energy. It's, you know, I get it. Like, some people like a more chilled out approach. And the good thing is there's like a little bit of everything in the Total War scene. But I'm sad to see a lot of the smaller guys have kind of stopped making content as well. Like, I haven't seen anything from Valkanos or its current year in like a long time. They were super cool dudes. And by smaller guys, I don't mean that in like an offensive way. They're just like, they were much later in starting their YouTube channels than, you know, than me, for example. And I'm a little guy in comparison to, you know, like Turin and Milk Cookies, who started their YouTube channels like years before I did, and so on and so on. Yeah, a lot of them like seem to have stopped making stuff, which is sad. I know Anticity still makes stuff, but it's not really, it's more like campaign focused. Or like tips and tricks, but kind of tips and tricks and campaign stuff. I think he still does My Player live streams. There's still Zerkovich, Darv plays, who I absolutely love Darv. I don't think Samurai Warrior makes stuff anymore. We've still got Turin, obviously, as well. The boss. I wish I could have done more stuff with Turin. And he tried, like, he's reaching out to me a load recently to do stuff with him. But just timing, like, we literally live on the opposite sides of the world, so it would never work. Like, I'd be at work when he was streaming and that kind of stuff. And then vice versa. So I'm like, I want to stream at this time, and he'd be like middle of the night for him. Yeah, massive shout out to Darv as well. I don't know if he'll ever see this, but Darv is one of the reasons my channel got to where it got to. He was the first guy to like shout me out, basically, from any Total War like content creator. Like shout me out on his channel to get people to come like watch me when I was tiny. And then I'm pretty sure he bullied CA into pushing me into the content creators program. Like, he's only told me to apply for it. I'm pretty sure he bullied them behind the scenes to make me get accepted. And then when I went up to like the next level of like content stuff for like the big boys, I was definitely the smallest YouTuber in there. When I got pushed up again, I'm pretty sure I had a conversation with this guy called Nathan from CA, who's super like, oh man, he's such a good guy to work with. I wish like I could actually just work like alongside him in a team. It'd be great. We were talking about Teach Me Total War, I think it was at the time. or some event for Creative Assembly. We're in like a meeting for it, and Darv pops in the meeting. Everyone leaves the meeting. Darv pops in. He just met Mr. Meeting, so he pops in, and we're like, okay, we do a rundown and like what Teach Me to War is, and if you want to get involved and that kind of stuff. And like it's flat out in the middle of this meeting, he's like, so when are we getting Ducky in this program? Like, when are we moving him in? We should do that soon, and all this stuff. It was really funny. It was a bit awkward because I was like, I'm like being trying to be forced in like in front of my eyes, which is funny. But yeah, he's a super nice guy. I definitely recommend anyone who hasn't seen. I don't know why you haven't seen Darv's channel if you haven't seen mine, but definitely go support him and check him out. He's a lovely dude. He's been very supportive over the years. As has everyone, to be honest. Turin's been great. I've done a couple of co-fins with him as well. And he's the reason I started a YouTube channel, actually. Because me and my housemate got addicted to his stuff. Milk and Cookies I never got to hang out with until this Immortal Empire's early access. And he is such a, like, Chad. He's a very cool dude. Very friendly. And we just had some awesome, like, banterous games against each other. Him and Samurai Warrior was real cool stuff. And like HDS as well. And Alkai and stuff. You guys probably don't know about them as much because they're Spanish-speaking YouTubers and so on. Yeah, Turin's got like WWE commentary for sure. What's up, Zach? The legendary Salamander. How's it going, man? Long time no see. How are you? Oh, my chat has disappeared off my phone again. Let me get that back. It looks like we're going to get Dwarfs, by the way. It was a very cursed matchup. No, chat's disappeared. Command you. Open. There we go, we're back. We are back. Hope you're doing good, man. Yeah, people are always upset midnight. You know what I mean? For sure. Yeah, I think a few people got annoyed that I got moved into the content creator program and stuff. To do like early access. But, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Everyone I met in like the early access stuff was really nice. It's Dwarves vs Snesh, which is a weird matchup. I played this one once. Believe it or not, I'm going to say it out loud. You guys are going to laugh at me. I think Grombrindle's the pick here. I think you go Gromby. Because Grombrindle has his flash bombs back. You have to have flash bombs. He has magic attacks. He can 1v1 any of their characters. He's a beast. He can shot chariots. He's got great mass to pin them in place. And flash bomb galore. He's so good. Because Snesh will try and be his chariots in this matchup. It's like their only play. Very good at swarming the Dowie back line, though. I generally think going full combat Dowie here with mass blasting charges and a load of combat troops is also fantastic. I like the idea of Peak Gate Guard, but alas, the Pit of Shades does kind of like one-shot them pretty much. I'm nearly set to return. I've been stuck on an island for a very long time. Zach, what have you been doing? Are you like marooned on a tropical island somewhere? You draw a picture of like a duck's face on a football. Like to try to keep yourself sane. In 2 weeks I will return. Hell yeah, Zach. I have to get some games going or something when you return. Hit me up on Discord, bro. Mofet's ready to rumble. He's good to party. Got Jellyfish contemplating. Did I do the scoreboard? Did I do that? Yes, I did. Mofet's one up. It is best of 5, guys. So we got a little while left to go. What's time? 9:30. Time does the takeaway places around here close? I think I'm fine. Also, I discovered something awesome. I'm sorry to like go completely off topic, but we're just waiting for the players to like, you know, do stuff. So sort out their builds and whatever. I think it's called Mulchi. It's like a rice dough like treat. They do ice cream ones, and they're okay. I like passion fruit ones, which is nice. It's like pistachio ones, but I don't like nuts. But they now do a salted like caramel one, and holy crap, are they good! You guys are in the UK, if you go to like Tesco's or something now, I think they do them at Waitrose as well. You'll really like them. You been binge watching replays in preparation for Mortal Empires? Oh man, it's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. I had a blast with the early access stuff. Me and Samurai War had a day where we just played like we played like 7 or 8 games, I think, back to back. And every single game was great. I think I cast every single one. They were so close. And like we were bringing like just real fun builds, like nothing too crazy. Not like going super try hard or anything like that. Obviously in the game you tried to win, but like builds wise, bringing fun and thematic stuff. And it was like the most fun I had doing Total War in a super long time. It's the bomb, man. Make right face, you know what's up. It's so good. I also went into bubble tea a lot the last like 2 months. A bubble tea shop opened like on the corner of where I live. I'd had it before and I'd liked it. So we were like, we'll go there when they open, like support like local business a little bit. So me and my housemates went. And they gave us like a loyalty card. And if you use 2 loyalty cards, you got like a gift, like a metal straw thing. And I was the first person in that store to get that gift. That's how many I drank. And they then gave us like another gift because we went there so often. They gave me like 20 quid off a tattoo at this like Japanese couple across the road who do these tattoos. I was like, all right, that's convinced me. I'm getting another tattoo. So I've got a Toph Beifong tattoo on my arm, actually. I don't think I've shown you guys yet. It's really dark in my room, so I don't think I'll be able to. I'll put a picture up on Discord or something. But anyway, let's delve into this. I'm really excited to see Jellyfish's Dowie army. I've been wanting to cast a dwarf battle for a while here. He is not gone Grumbrindle though, so he is lost. He doesn't believe in the heart of the cards, I'm afraid. It looks like he's got a load of dwarf warriors, a load of blasting charges, just kind of dotted, going relatively wide here actually. We've got Slayers, so 2 Slayers. We have Rangers as well. We do indeed have a Thane. We have a Master Engineer, of course, for the Flash Bomb. A Loner Cannon, which I don't hate at all. I quite like that pick. And we have Furuk Ironbrow. So Furuk Ironbrow is still very good. Now, do we actually have Chariots? So we don't have Chariots from Slaanesh. That's because the unit chariots aren't great, the cheap ones. But the single entity chariots are still... You can't stop them as dwarfs. Their mass is just too much, so... Probably don't get to see them. Oh, we do have some chariots, I lie. Okay, we've got 2 chariots. But they're the smaller ones. They don't do that much damage, but we'll see how they do. Double Seeker chariots, we've got Marauders. We have a Demonettes of Slaanesh, which is a really good way to go in this matchup, I think. I think the exotic Demonettes are well worth it as well, and it looks like we don't have them. Only basic Demonettes, I'm afraid. Chaos Sorcerer of Slaanesh. Interesting choice. Don't get to see them often at all, actually. They come in with, yeah, pretty basic stuff. Acquiescence. Thane of Slaanesh, the one to go for. And we have Prince Sigvald the Magnificent, of course, with some Furies up in the skies. We also have Skirmish Cav for them now, which is horrible. Slaanesh are so quick already. Giving them a range is going to be really nasty. So double Marauder Horsemen on the left-hand side. More Furies in the back. More Horsemen as well. Their main goal is going to be to pick apart Slayers. But they're going to have a tough time with it because there are Rangers nearby to try to counter-shoot. And the Dwarf are going to be using the natural terrain to their advantage with the trees just behind them. Looking good. I like both builds. I would say that Sigvald worries me a bit. Although Furuk plus the Thane might better take him down. But apart from that, I quite like the Dowie build. I think they got good chances. What's up, Rusty? Hello, hello. Yeah, there's like marble snacks there. I only know 2 of them. But like, the ice cream ones and then like the other like sweet ones, what I know. But I'm sure they come in multiple ways. I also went to Bao Buns. That's how you pronounce it. Like B-A-O. I've been seeing a lot of food. What can I say? What can I say? I hope they expand Ogres and Cafe roster soon. I'm sure, like, every faction will get a DLC. For sure. Man, this is a slow start to the game. What's going on? Why is Slaanesh not... What are they doing? Like, very slowly moving their flanking units. I guess they're in no rush. They're getting all their cavalry in position. Looks like a few cannon shots came in there and clipped that Chaos Sorcerer's wings a little bit. Needs to be careful, he's moving forward again. Looks like, luckily for him, the dwarves had switched targets. Holy cow! Prince Sigvald, sit down, son. Sit down. Took some damage. He is not a happy boy. I mean, he'll regenerate, right? He did bring the regeneration, I'm assuming. Yes, he did. I've seen players not bring regeneration on Signal before, and I don't know what to say in that moment, so I kind of just cry a little bit inside. Pump those dwarven legs, screams Midnight Sun. I agree. Pump those legs indeed. The cannon shots are pouring in. Looks like they're going to be switching at target priority to the Seeker Chariots. Not a bad idea. Horsemen are also a little bit scary, but as long as the Rangers can fend them off, it's not the end of the world, and it looks like that's just what they're doing now. Rangers are popping shots onto the Horsemen now. This is a great trade for the Dowie. It will only work this way as long as they keep the Seeker Chariots at bay, and it looks like some of the Slayers have taken some damage here now. Prince Sigvald is on the warpath. He's been slowed down. He does only pop Slipper on him, so he's been sped up, and he has the Sliver Slash on him. In magic attacks, Sunder Armor, and so on. Slayers actually are allowed to jump him alongside the Thane, and Thora gets down and dirty. The Voter Marauders do catch up, though, which is risky for these Slayers. They're going to take huge casualties. Trying to burst down Prince Sigvald is bold. Very bold from the Dwarfs, because they aren't quick enough to capitalize on him breaking. Blast and Charge do some great damage to the Marauders all across the front. Love to see that happening. But there definitely see some Blast and Charge go down in the middle here. Slayers are suffering. We do have Devoted Marauders as well as the Demonettes pushing up in the back burner here. Dwarf Warriors slow them down. Rangers are getting jumped. Cannon as well has been saved by the Dragonback Slayers, though, at least momentarily, as it continues to pop shots at the Seeker Chariots. Sigvald does stand here. This is a terrible trade in the middle with the Slayers going down to the Devoted Marauders. Sigvald is dishing out pretty good here. Now, the Master Engineer is still popping shots. Cannon, unfortunately, rampages. Lovely, lovely Snesh play there. Rampaging the cannon so it stops shooting is masterful, and Snesh are dominating this left-hand flank. Horsemen have wrapped up and around. It looks like in the back, Horsemen and Furies are popping in. Seeker Chariots are running over the enemy. Things are looking bleak for the Dowie, at least at the moment. We have Slayers dueling Demonettes, which is a hot and feisty affair. I think that's pretty good for the Demonettes, though, realistically. The Slayers should win it, I think, alongside the minor support. Although, maybe not. We are getting Acquiescence go down. And Chariots in the rear. Ooh, this could be really rough, actually. The Dwarfs have kind of been spread apart. And they're not killing Sigvald, is the problem here. Like, it looks like they're killing Sigvald, but I don't think they're killing Sigvald. If he just pushes out and gets, like, one unit supporting here to get rid of the Slayers, he'll be absolutely fine. If they can kill Sigvald, there's a chance. Because Dwarf leadership doesn't die to Slaanesh, like, at all. It just holds for 5,000 years. I had Grombrindle and Felix, like, outlast the enemy's entire army before. So it is definitely possible. Maybe Principle goes down here? Maybe, but, like, I don't see it. Armor Sundering has been popped on him, but with more Marauders floating to the engagement, Slayers going to be dying in droves. I feel like the Prince is simply going to sliver away, and the Dwarfs have applied so much to taking him down. We do get a flash bomb, which is nice, but they've deployed so much of their forces to take down Sigvald. If it doesn't pull off, they're going to lose. It looks like in the back, Dwarf Warriors are getting run over. We have some Slayers trying to counter the Seekers, doing some good work there. Chaos Furies are going down. Cannon Crew is running for the hills, though. Likewise, we have Slayers being trodden under hoof from the Seeker Chariots. Decent amount of Slayers left alive, but there's also a decent amount of Javelins, and the Marauders are going to really rip them apart. They're going to get rampaged as well, so they can't even come to the aid of their Liege Lord, who is surrounded over here, and Prince Sigvald is still going strong. Down to 1,600 HP, certainly has the numbers on his side now. The Thane as well as Thoric have put a lot of effort into dragging him down, but I don't think it's going to be enough, I really don't. It looks like a little bit of lag has kicked in from these lads. The Demonettes are getting dragged down by the Dwarf Warriors. Slayers are being forced off as well. With the Horsemen just sort of lurking, though, they're really not having a good day. You can see they're trying to push the enemy away to the corners of the map. We also have some Demonettes of Slaanesh just wrapping up and around, trying to get away from the Slayers. No need to fight them if we can kite them, is the old saying against the Dwarfs. Prince Sigvald has Slippery popped on him, and once again, if he wants to get out of here, he can. He has friends he can pull through. But he definitely doesn't want to wait till they break. Like, he's got to be careful. You don't want to lose the Prince, though he's done so much damage, I'm sure. Let's have a little bit of a look. 1,500 value is not crazy, but he has distracted the Thane Engineer as well as Thoric Ironbrow for a considerable portion of the battle. Elsewhere, Slayers getting run over by Seekers. A lot of the Dwarfs are being picked apart by some beautiful micro by Mofet. Going back, Slayers got pinned in place, and just look at this. The bodies. The bodies. Man, this is not a good way to go. At least they've already got a tombstone planted for them, but Slayers want to die in combat, I feel like, not filled with just javelins galore. That is a horrible sight to see. And it looks like they are indeed going to be going down there. Prince Singfold continues to fight and scrap, and he tanks them. Tanks the Thane, tanks Forek, tanks the Engineer, and is victorious. He would have lost in the long run if he stayed and fought, you know, and they didn't break. But he could have walked out at any time, and that is the problem for the Dwarfs. You simply do not have the ability to control the map in any way. So well played, the Mofet is going to be 2-1 there. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Close to 100 likes, says Steve Wilson. We can get there. We can get there. Never mad to see Sigvald get smacked. I'm always happy as well to see him get snapped around. No, Zach, your internet's crap. Man, which island are you on, if you don't mind me asking? Like, why are you stuck? 1.4k value on Forek is decent, it must be said. Thane struggled a little bit, though. Yeah. That was a little bit rough towards the end. Dwarfs did okay in the early game. Like, they hit up Sigvald hard. He got 1.7k value, though, but he just doesn't die. Chariots didn't do too much. I like the Demonet pick, and they counter a lot of troops in general. It was a close game. Well, there's, like, no crazy value on either side. I think it just came down to the fact that Dwarfs committed so much to killing Sigvald, didn't do it, because all that effort was put in there, the rest of the army fell apart. Now, if they were able to assassinate him early, like if those Slayers got surrounded him and there was no Marauders to support, I 100% agree with the plan, because this army can't kill Forek Ironbrow and a Thane. It just can't do it without the Prince. With the Prince there, they were able to overwhelm them. So that is a glorious 2 wins for Mofet, but it is a best of 5. So let's quickly pop that up. Boop. It is 2-0. Where is the book? It's going in the book. Slash won a game. How rare and unusual. We're on Prague. My god. Going old school. Big map. Big map. What's up, Villain? Says hi. I've missed it. Why is this the final tournament? I see Twintail Gaming asking as well. So, I am going to be retiring from doing Total War content on YouTube. I still will be putting stuff up, so have no fear. There will be videos from time to time. Probably not for a couple of months. I'm going to take a break. So there will be no content for probably about 2 months, I reckon, roughly, give or take. And then I will be putting up content, but more in a hobby way. So I'm not going to be trying to do it as a job, basically. So I may upload stuff on creative projects I'm working on. I also do a lot of writing and stuff, and I want more free time to do that as well. I want to try to fund some small projects as well, so I'll probably advertise them on YouTube. Maybe as well looking to do some like historical martial arts, so I may also make some videos of my progress in that. I am likely to do other video game videos. I'm not going completely away from Warhammer. I will do probably Warhammer lore videos, that kind of stuff. But they're probably going to be a lot higher quality videos, lots more editing, that kind of stuff, because I'm learning a lot of that at my job. But a lot more sparse, like once a month type thing. And kind of just upload, giving it, you know, it's got a home to upload to, so feel free to say subscribe if you're interested in that stuff, but I will not be covering Total War multiplayer any longer. I explained my reasons at the start of this stream, so feel free to go back and do it. I don't want to bring a dampener down on the stream, but it is going to be the end of my channel in its current form. But I still will keep the Discord going. I'm still going to play the game, probably not for a couple of weeks, because I'm not around, basically, for the next couple of weekends. But I'll still play the game. My Discord's going to stay open as a place for you to chill out in, play games, and obviously for DVD to live. I will probably not play in tournaments. It's very unlikely I'll play in tournaments, unless they're like a one-build Battle Royale tournament. I will probably hop in with some Mimi builds, and if DBD ever need me to hop in an event, I will do that as well, and kind of play for them if they need me for any reason. But yeah, the reins of the clan are going to move over as well. So I think Logic's going to take over as like the head role of DVD for a while, and then I think see how he likes it, and maybe he'll pass it on to someone else as well, who's just going to be a bit more active. Yes, I don't know how to pronounce it, Hema or Hammer. It looks like Hema to me, but there's a chance I might start it. there's not like a guarantee I'm going to start it, but there's a chance I may. I need to find a good place which works within my like weekly time schedule to do it like once a week or something in London. And I need to check prices. I have zeros. I've never done anything like that before. I've done archery, I suppose, as a kid. And a bit of shooting and stuff. Because I grew up near a farm, so, you know, standard country boy stuff. But it's just something that's interested me for a while. I watched a few videos on it. And I thought it'd be a good way to get fit. I don't know if I would... I think there's like basic training, and then there's like one-to-one sparring stuff. I'd probably start just with the basic stuff, and then if I enjoy it, go to sparring. I see you, Snashbot. I see you, I'm gonna destroy you. Report. Leave me alone. Oop. It's nice to know that I got big enough that I would get Snashbots. Logic is incredibly busy as well, so exactly. I think he's going to see how it goes. He's got uni as well as 2 jobs right now, so they're not full-time jobs. So yeah, obviously, if it was 2 full-time jobs, he'd be living multiple lives. So I don't know how that works, but he's going to try at least doing it for a while, like in like a transition phase. Thank you so much, and thank you guys for the support. Like I'm going to do. So this is like my last stream on Total War, but. I will do one more video as well. So there's going to be one more video, which I guess I'll explain stuff in that video for like more clarity. I'll probably have to think about what I'll say in it. And I'll say thank you to everyone for the crazy amount of support I've had over the last couple of years. But I'm going to find a good Lizardman game, or play a good Lizardman game, and I'm going to cast that. That's my plan. So there'll be one more Total War video still, yeah. But I've just been doing Total War for like 3.5 years. It's been, you know, too much for one game, I think. Hemmer's awesome. I'm actually really excited. Park map coming out of the blue there with the bands. I love it. Longsword or what? I'm thinking longsword. I'm a pretty short guy and not that well built. So I know swords are a lot lighter than people think they are. I don't know how I would cope with a longsword. I probably need reach, to be honest, being a short guy. So yeah, probably longsword. I think the place I looked up, they trained with longswords and sabers predominantly. Different classes, but like longswords and sabers seem to be the 2 big things. And I think there was another place in London which did spears. But yeah, if anyone's in London and does it, I know that's quite a weird niche. If anyone happens to be in London and does it, you may see me at some point. And if you've got places to recommend, I would really appreciate it. I live like South London though. I think most stuff's central. But it's just timing, like, can I get from work there in time? Because I think the ones I looked up predominantly are like evening classes and don't do weekends, which could be a problem. But I might be able to make it work. I'm sure I can have a chat with my boss, and if I start earlier on, like, if they have them on Friday, I might be able to like start early that shift or something. Oh, see, Midnight Sun. This is where I reach in to my Viking roots. And I fight like a berserker, completely naked. Although I'm pretty sure berserkers actually had armor, but it's not the point. There's so much debate. There's a Norse mythology podcast I listened to for a while. One of them's like a historian. One of them was like a master in like Norse mythology. Like a professor of it and that kind of stuff. And they were debating berserkers. Were they real? Were they not real? In what context were they? You know, berserker, I think, translates to bear skins. So it's like people who wore bear skins. And I think the general consensus is that it's most likely an elite form of warrior. Kind of like I guess a Viking era, like Spetsnaz, or like special forces almost. Seems to be the general consensus, but there is also these ideas of these kind of more less armored, kind of crazed, fungused up warriors. There's also there's other stuff like berserkers aren't necessarily a good thing for the Viking forces either. Or I should say the Scandinavian forces. There's a load of different takes people have on them, but yeah, it's pretty interesting stuff. I should find you guys the name of that podcast for those interested in Norse mythology. I think it might just be called the Norse Mythology Podcast. So it's probably the biggest one you can find on Amazon. So Gojira! Good luck in your future endeavors. Thank you so much, man. I still will be posting stuff up on YouTube. Have no fear, guys. But it just will not be Total War based, I'm afraid. Jaime Lannister isn't that big, and he's the greatest swordsman in the Seven Kingdoms. McRightface, controversial opinion, Ned Stark would beat him. I don't care. I don't care that George R. R. Martin himself said Ned's a good fighter, not the best, and Jaime is the best. Ned has Sean Bean powers. He can do this. In the book, definitely not, right? Ned Stark can't beat Jaime Lannister. If you'll just take what you see in the show, alright, from their one fight, Ned was winning. I don't care. I guess you could argue Jaime's only trying to injure him. I don't think Ned's trying to kill Jaime either. Just trying to defend himself. I felt like Ned Stark was winning. Just put it out. I know I'm a Stark fanboy, so I'm incredibly biased. Yeah, Jaime's a really fun, interesting character. I really enjoyed House of the Dragon. I didn't dislike the end of Game of Thrones as much as everyone else did. I didn't think it was good. But it didn't put me off enough to not watch House of the Dragon. And I need to read the books. I've read like 2.5 before, but I always feel like I need to go back and start. Oh, you're on the West Coast. Very nice. I just want to say you're my favourite multiplayer game caster. Thank you so much, man. Thank you, my dude. Fight like a slayer, exactly. Exactly. Alright, sorry, I've like completely blanked out on the fact that we're playing Total War. Just having a chat. Right. For the forces of mighty Dr. Jellyfish, who is certainly on the back ropes here though. He is 2-0 down. He has nowhere to go. He cannot afford another loss. And he's gone to his comfort pit, Grand Cafe. I feel like dwarf players are going to like Grand Cafe quite a lot. They're going to kind of bounce back to each other. And, yeah, they both have a similar playstyle. So you got a bit more variety in Cafe in the form of cavalry. So we have a load of Jade Lancers, 4 units in fact. So a decent amount of micromanagement will be required. Oh my god, triple gold chevron Jade Warriors. These guys were born in the fires of hell. Molded veterans from the demon wars, defending the Great Wall. They have seen many a horror, and they still stand. Peasant archers in the back, Astromancer, the righteous Lancers, and Miao Ying, the Storm Dragon, descendants of the Targaryens themselves. For the forces of Tzeentch, we have Chaos Furies, we have Skirmish Cavalry, we have the Knights of Immolation, one of the coolest sounding units probably to ever exist in any game. Load of Forsaken making up the main battle line. We have the Exalted Lord of Change of Metal flying high in the sky. And on Transmutation, Plague Rust, Searing Doom, the standard stuff, and the Fury Summon. A load more Furies and Skirmish Cav. It's going to be an interesting fight. Like, there's not that much for the Skirmish Cav to get in on. Just the tuners of Peasant Archers. But likewise, if the Peasant Archers go down, then the enemy Skirmish Cav has absolute free reign. I love the fact we have this Astromancer as well. He's going to do a decent amount of work with his air effect attacks. You can see the Tzeentch player is in zero hurry. Like, Mofet doesn't want to get to the battlefield because he thinks he can win the skirmish game, as well as use his castle to kind of destroy the enemy. So he might as well just slow ball it, and look at that damage. My god. These guys like big armor piercers or something? What are they? They're not throwing axes or anything. Oh, wrong thing. What do you guys have? 7 armor piercing. Okay, it's not terrible. Not terrible. They can do some damage. Jade Lancers, of course, do have shields. And it looks like they do lose the 10 armor, of course, by being sundered. Though that won't affect the first few shots coming in. Looks like the Peasant Archers are shooting back now. And they can do some decent work to enemy skirmish cavalry like this. They are shielded, of course, though. So, look, the shields run out, and then Mofet pulls back. Real masterful plays, getting tiny favorable trades is really going to help out in the early game here. But the Horsemen are probably needed more by Tzeentch than the Jade Lancers are by Grand Cafe here. But it's a pretty even trade in the early stages. It looks like the Forsaken have decided to halt right now, lurking in the mists. I love this mist effect when you kind of zoom out here. A very early Chaos Fury summon coming in by Mofet here. Looks like he's had enough of these Peasant Archers and wants to shut them down instantly. But the Righteous Lancers, Dr. Jellyfish, quick to react, floats out to the right-hand side, looking to fend them off. And more Furies are trying to bomb rush in. The Righteous Lancers can't be everywhere and one go. And oh no! What a trap! This is insane. So we get an Overcast Plague of Rust, lowering the armor by 66, I guess because the armor's 100 as well. It's a really weird number. But their armor's down to 44, and now the Furies jump them, plus a final transmutations on them. The Righteous Lancers are going to lose their lives, only trading for a lone unit of Chaos Furies. That is a disaster for Grand Cathay off the rip. Or is it? They continue to scrap and hold. But, no, the one unit of Furies is all they get. That is insane play by Mofet. I love it. Miao Ying transforms into the Dragon too little, too late, I'm afraid. And it looks like the forces of Tzeentch are going to be able to get out of there. A glorious hit and run. And whilst that's been going on, the Knights of Immolation did their bombing run on the Peasant Archers. Apologies for missing that there. They have a really cool effect where they kind of poo flames down on the enemy. And they get their shield stripped of them by Miao Ying. But now they're going to kite back and fall away. And half of the range core of this army has already been defeated. That's really going to allow the Tzeentch player to kite as much as possible. But despite those losses early on, it's not over. This is an elite front line which can hold for a long time, particularly when saturated on top of an Astromancer and Miao Ying. So it's still all game on, but a lovely opening flurry of attacks and just tactics by Mofet, who, it must be said, has been playing phenomenal today. The Marauders of Tzeentch are just whistling down at the Jade Lancers, their armor being sundered by the holy and, well, unholy flames, I should say, of Tzeentch. More play coming in and whittling down at the Jade Lancers as the Forsaken. So we're going to fall back. We're actually maybe do a bit of rotation here, it seems, preparing for the fight later on. I'd like to see them rotate the other way, actually, take the high ground for kind of the slog in the latter stages of the battle. The Marauders are going to continue to pepper down. If they can get rid of all the Jade Lancers, they then can allow the Jade Warriors to be confronted in the front by the Forsaken. Then you use these guys to rear attack the enemy with the Knights and the Furies, and you can break Jade Warriors that way, despite their gold chevron. It looks like we're going to get yet another summon. Is this another bait? We'll see. If he's got Plague of Rust back, he may be going for an assassination attempt actually on Miao Ying. No, he doesn't look like it. He's just using the summon to get rid of the Peasant Archers. Is this going to work? Are they going to be able to break? No! It's a bait! It's a bait! It's a trap! Don't fall for it! No! Oh my god. Mofet is coming in with some top quality plays there. Sear and Doom bait on top of the summoned unit of Furies is a lovely little gambit. Up to 1.3k value, but he has used, a final transmutation plus a Sear and Doom to get that value. More peppering coming in from the forces of Tzeentch. The Knights of Immolation are bobbing and weaving in the distance. Very, very strong start so far by Mofet. I have been incredibly impressed. Now, I'm also impressed by this. He's got some Furies just dying against Miao Ying. It looks like it was to help support the Exiled Lord. They're then going to bomb rush these Peasant Archers. Now, the good news is if they can break the Archers, their death doesn't really matter. But we're going to get yet another Sear and Doom come in. Looks like it was an Overcast one this time as well. And yet again, Jellyfish, alas, had fallen for the trap. And that does some big damage to the Jade Lancers. Their armor searing to their flesh. And that's very uncomfortable indeed. Now the fact these peasants are broken, the Furies can simply chase them away. I don't even know if we're going to need these Forsaken. This is crazy. Crazy, crazy stuff here. Now, is there hope? Of course there is. We have Miao Ying, we have the Astromancer, and we have a bucket ton of gold chevron Jade Warriors. Look at those stats. 31 melee attack, 45 melee defense up against the Forsakens. 42 attack, but only 20 defense. It's going to be quite the kind of crazy fight there. It looks like we get a load more shots come in, peppering down at the Jade Lancers, doing some nice work there. The Mortal Horsemen doing some real solid stuff. We're about to see a bombing run, though. In come the Knights. Oh, it looks like Jellyfish predicted it and changed formation. So Mofet just didn't do the bombing run. He may be trying to line up a double shot here. Oh, go for it. Go for the dub. Go for the dub. We're going to see it. Boom. There we go. That's some solid work, particularly on gold chevron units. I like that for sure. Forsaken have gone a little bit closer here. We still have the peppering of troops. This unit of Jade Lancers might have overextended a little bit. They've caught the Marauder Horsemen, but now the Knights of Immolation could rear attack them if they wanted to. That's just what they're going to do. Yet another Sear and Doom comes down. Triple Jade Warriors getting caught in that. Big, big damage coming in. And it looks like the Jade Lancers are unfortunately going down on this side. This has been just insane work. This has been insane work so far by Mofet. I would love to see Jellyfish come back here. I want more games. But I don't think it's... I don't know. It's such a good start for Tzeentch. Is it possible? So it looks like the Jade Warriors are once again bunched up, trying to grapple with whatever they can reach, maybe hoping the enemy will bunch up so they can use their Astromancer to deal damage. And now we're going to get the big fires of Tzeentch flood in to the mortal realms and just do devastating work on these Jade Warriors. Devastating. Jellyfish reacted relatively quickly, so they get out of some of the damage, but look at the bodies on the ground. Up in the skies, Miao Ying's trying to grapple with the Exotic Lord of Change, who's actually a really solid melee combatant. He can do a lot of great work, and him alongside the Fury is probably enough to fend off Miao Ying. We get yet another Searing Doom come down on the Jade Warriors, who are desperately trying to move out the way. It looks like they are not that successful in doing so, to be honest. A huge gusts of blood spurt onto the screen, and I don't know if the Forsaken are needed. I really don't. It's just been a masterclass. Like, the Doom Knights can bomb these guys a little bit. The Exotic Lord could probably take them down with Searing Dooms if they get rid of Miao Ying. Forsaken might as well push in and engage now. Like, there's no point not finishing off these ground forces. But I guess Mofet's, you know, playing it safe just in case. Looks like the Jade Lancers did break to Marauder Horsemen, which is a bit of a shame. We have some Horsemen coming back in the distance. Forsaken, looks like one unit is going to engage with the enemy. In fact, two. Their kind of rage can't be contained and they want to push forward. We're about to see Miao Ying switch it up a bit and go back into human form. Does she have Talons of the Night? So she has Talons. And look at this, Freeness of Forsaken. If they bunch up on each other and get a little over-eager, they might get popped and taken down by that area of effectability. And then maybe Miao Ying can kind of bring this back a little bit. Forsaken have the numerical advantage now. You can see one unit clashing the enemy in the front, the other one that simply whips up and around and is going to go for a rear attack. More Jade Warriors see what's happening and desperately try to come to the aid of their opponents, but unfortunately they are just a tiny bit too slow. Jade Warriors, though, actually, it looks like the Forsaken have backed off, seeing the threat, and now the Exotic Lord is going to go Miao Ying hunting. Looks like the nice immolation, yet another bombardment goes down. Holy crap, look at the damage! Look at that. So much work done. The Knights have barely touched combat with their blades. And they're up to 1.3k value and 173 kills. This is brutal. We are about to get a Talons, I think, go down on the Forsaken, maybe? It might have been Searing Doom that got cancelled, but Jade Warriors are breaking. They have fallen. The Jade Lancers could maybe come back. I mean, they're probably going to get kited, to be honest, by these Horsemen. And Miao Ying is trying her best to keep things together, but the Knights of Immolation are going strong. We do get a Wrath of the Storm going down. Those magic attacks will help out, of course, plus the 24 melee attack. We're about to get yet another big area of effect, though, ability come down by Tzeentch's forces, and I don't think Dr. Jellyfish has spotted it this time. So that is the death to the double units of Jade Warriors. One or two Knights get caught in the crossfire, but not that much. And that is goodbye to these men who bravely came to fight. Miao Ying bathes in the fire, though. She is more than the match for the Flames of Tzeentch. Having, of course, a thick dragon skin, it probably feels like quite a cool battle. Looks like Forsaken are going to get hit by a Talons. A bit of lag kicks in, unfortunately, but there we go. It is about to be changed. Boom. In comes the Talons. That's going to rip into that unit. Value-wise, you can see... I love the fact we have this now, but 6,700 value to 4,900. It does bode very poorly here. There's so much Forsaken left around. Like, you see units chasing in the distance. We do get a Combat Cassandra, unfortunately gets casted onto the own Astromancer. He tried popping it on the head of the Exotic Lord, but Mofet's not going to fall for that one. And the Knights of Immolation are floating around, coming in with a lovely old, just little kind of showboat in there, fireworks. They're not going to do any damage, realistically, with those to these single entities, but hey, you might as well get it in. A little bit of damage here and there, never hurt nobody. More Forsaken can come back. The Warriors of Cathay have abandoned Miao Ying. They do not believe in dragons anymore. And they've decided to leave this mortal realm. It looks like we're about to see... Is this a lightning bolt coming down from the Astromancer there. But with the Ancestral Warrior Summon, we don't. That'd be really clutch right now. Ancestral Warrior Summon to kill the Knights and enemy Lord. And then try to take down the enemy with the dragon. But... I don't know about that. Dragon Form has been activated. Knights of Immolation alongside the Lord, though. It's going to be too much. Miao Ying breaks and runs. And that is going to be GG, well played. The grand finals of this ODM-hosted event. Massive shout out, by the way, to Hanadins for organising this. An absolute chat. has been won by Mofet in a 3-0 final series, taking down Dr. Jellyfish. Very well played. That was some beautiful stuff. Yao Ying, 1.1k value there, but this army got slaughtered. Picked apart so well by the forces of Tzeentch. 3,182 value on the Exiled Order change is ridiculous. 4.5k on the Knights of Immolation, barely a scratch on them, and 184 kills is bonkers. Forsaken didn't have to get their claws wet at all. Skirmish Cav did decent as well, 820, 700 value. Furies, some just top tier baits with them all day long. Able to break the archers, able to bait in for those big air effect attacks. Also baiting in the Longmars in the early game as well, then Plague of Rust in them. It was a masterclass in Tzeentch play. If you want to play Tzeentch, you guys need to check that out. That's a shout out to Alfredino as well. He is streaming this on Twitch. I believe I did leave a link a little bit early on. So hopefully you guys better check him out as well. So I'm seeing so many messages now. I'm sorry, Pone. I'm sorry, man. I'm still going to do like occasional YouTube content. It's not going to be Total War based. It'll still be on theme, I think, for what people will enjoy. So feel free to stick around. And the content, I'm going to take probably like 2 months off, roughly. And then the content's going to be like maybe once a month. And it'll be like a edited video. Either on how I'm getting on with some adventure, which again might be the historical martial arts. It might be the project with the book. It might be a gaming video still on like a game I'm playing. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. But I'm afraid, laying down my axe and, you know, having a bit of a rest. But the good news for me is a true warrior needs no sword. That was some Desert Storm tier air raid. That was insane. GG, says Fistek. GG's indeed. Hey, Mick Rightface saying that you can only die once per show. Sharp, bro. You pit Sharp up against anyone in Game of Thrones, Sharp's winning. I mean, he does have a gun, so it's a little bit biased, but Sharp doesn't die, man. Sharp is immortal. I used to watch that TV show with my dad. Like, it was legendary part of my childhood. Thanks for casting this. No worries, Hand-ins. Thank you for the invite, my dude. I know we've been trying to do something like this for a while. So thank you so much. Way to go, Mofet, with the sweep of the finals. Look, Dodge Jellyfish played well as well. I don't want to take anything away from him. Let's quickly update the scoreboard. But, like, Mofet went ham. Mofet went crazy. And a deserved 3-0 there. He ran that last game. He went so hard. But thank you guys so much. Thank you for all for all the amazing work you made for the community. No worries, Hand-ins. Thank you so much for always being such a cool part of it. You've been a really cool dude. Buddy, can you show me Bellicor in faction picking phase? I'm afraid I can't because I don't have him. You have to unlock him in campaign first. Gang Paradise. You have to like complete the campaign to unlock Bellicor. Otherwise you can't use him. Thank you so much. No worries, McRightface. Thank you so much for the support. You've always been very generous, dude. You've always been Rubik's Raptor as well, my Chad. And again, guys, I still will piss stuff up on YouTube, but I am going to step away from the Total War scene, which I understand if people want to unsubscribe and they're not interested in other stuff I do. That is absolutely fine. But yeah, I'm going to be stepping away from it. There will be one more video. There will be one more video, and it will be Lizardmen. I don't know what it'll be against. There will be a Lizardmen one, just to explain stuff to people who don't watch streams. Thanks, Dark. It's been a pleasure watching your streams and video. Happy that you'll still be around. Yes, Palmap, don't worry. If anything, I'm going to be around a lot more in clan chat. I've basically not been involved in multiplayer in like 6 months or something, like playing games. I just don't have time to play. But now I'll actually have time to play. So I'll still be around for DBD events and stuff. I just won't be the one making the content on it. But you'll probably see me around. You'll see me around. Alright, guys. That's going to be it. That's the last live stream for an incredibly long time, and probably the last ever Total War live stream. Obviously, never say never. Maybe at some point, something will entice me back in. If I see like 40k or something, and I just love it so much, and my work life's changed or something, and I have more hours to do it, maybe. But yeah, probably not for a little while there. GG, says Midnight Sun. GG, Ducky, for your streams. I haven't played much in your community, but your tourneys were awesome. Good luck, you legend. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys on the next video. And from there, we'll we'll peace out for a little while. So, until next time, guys, peace. And as always, stay awesome.